Welcome to another episode of the RDR podcast where we talk about all the nerdy shit that you love or hate. I'm Quentin.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Malik.
Today we got a list of things to talk about. First of all, we're going to talk about our top 10 favorite wrestlers. Then we'll move on to Marvel recasting T'Challa. We'll see how, we all feel about that. We'll talk about Marvel Rivals. They just updated, and I know that game we've all been playing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
And then we'll talk about what makes a good villain. Me and Tim usually root for villains.
That's right.
So we'll talk about what makes us love them or what makes us hate them. And last but not least, we'll talk about what games we want to see remade. There's a lot of good games out there that, deserve either remade or games that should be redone.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Sequels, etc., all that.
Yeah, we'll cover it all today. So let's get it started. Top 10 wrestlers.
This was a hard list.
Very.
Very hard list to make. Whittling down all of the great wrestlers down to just a top 10 was really hard.
Yes.
And I got a crap load of honorable mentions that I'm going to have to, because they have to be mentioned. Even if they're not in my top 10, they have to be mentioned just because of how good they are. But getting down to 10 was so difficult.
I agree. Like, even right now, I've worked hard on my list all week, and I've really struggled. I knew who my top 4 were, but it really was tough trying to figure out 6 through 10. And even now, looking at my list, I'm like, I forgot this guy. I forgot that guy. I might piss people off because I left this guy off. So
yeah, there's a couple people I'm thinking I need to move some people around, but I'm sitting there also looking at it like, who can I move? I'm so upset that I can't move some of these people.
Right. Well, you know what? Let's get it kicked off with our honorable mentions.
Okay, I got a long list. So one of these guys, this first guy I'm going to mention, I didn't think he would reach the level that he has, but he has just become such a great wrestler, especially recently, that it's hard to ignore what he's done. I got to go with Randy Orton. Randy Orton is an honorable mention. Like, he just barely missed the top 10. When he first came, I'm just like, okay, he's a Nepo baby, whatever.
Yeah, third generation star.
Yeah, he's here because of his dad and granddad and all of that, but he's become one of the best, especially recently. The latter half of his career has been fantastic. The early part was meh.
See, I think once he became the Legend Killer, I thought
the Legend Killer is when he started to take off. Yes,
yeah,
but
that was amazing.
Yeah, Legend Killer was really great, but then when he went ultra uber bad guy,
the 09 run,
the punt kick run,
the 09 run, yeah, that was
punt kicking Stephanie.
He didn't punt. He punted Vince.
He kissed her.
He DDT'd Stephanie McMahon right in front of her husband.
Yeah,
and then kissed her.
Yeah.
Like, that is diabolical right there.
Yeah.
Like, that's top tier villain.
That's why I love Randy.
So I'm like, he has to be on here. Next guy, I'm upset. He missed my top 10, but only because he didn't get the career that he should have had. Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero was so good.
Now I'm sitting here like, I didn't put Eddie Guerrero on my list, and now this is what I mean. Now I'm upset. Like,
Eddie Guerrero
so
was
great.
Good. So great.
So great.
If he had the rest of his career, he undoubtedly he'd be in my top 10, probably close to my top 3.
Oh man, he's a legend in the game. Even
Absolutely.
Everyone. I just seen didn't MJF try his old little thing, the chair shot.
Yeah.
Either he hit me with the chair to the ref.
They do that. Everyone still does the 3 amigos.
Yep.
Every time pretty much anyone does a frog splash, they got to give the Eddie shake. The little,
Absolutely.
Great, very influential. Next, remember, I'm saying this honorable mention list is going to be long. Samoa Joe.
Good. I forgot Samoa Joe.
Good.
Samoa Joe's so good.
Good pick.
Samoa Joe's so good. Yeah. He has so many great moments, but I'm like, I can't put him on top 10, but He has to be mentioned.
Just the little thing he does that I absolutely love is when someone jumps off the top rope and he just walks away. The walk,
I
love it.
The walk away is so great. It's so simple, but it makes sense.
Right.
Next, Sting. Sting was my first favorite wrestler ever. Sting. I still remember my older sister and I watching WCW Saturday night at my grandmother's house, and Sting was on the TV. Surfer Sting.
Yeah.
Bleach blonde with the colorful pants, the colorful face paint. Oh, such a memory.
How can you not love Sting?
How can you not love Sting?
I mean, Wolfpack Sting with the red and black paint and the leather.
Crow Sting was great.
Oh, man.
Absolutely.
I love almost every version of Sting.
Absolutely.
Absolutely love him.
Became a madman later in his career in AEW.
Yeah.
Like, you're 60 years old. Why are you jumping off a balcony?
Yeah.
We saw it live.
He came to Pittsburgh and we saw it live. He jumped off. I'm like, no, he's not.
He jumped on that private
and he
party
jumped
with somebody
right
else.
off the balcony. I'm like, dude, you're pushing 60. Calm it down. Bret Hart.
Okay.
I like Bret. I like Sting better than Bret. But he is the excellence of execution. But he's not a top 10 all time.
All right, here's where I'm going to piss people off. I like Bret Hart. He's one of the most boring characters ever. I'm sorry. He's an excellent wrestler. He was so boring to me. He was so boring. I didn't care. The pink was like his personality, and that was it.
See, like, so like,
Look at Malik's face.
no, like, see, I didn't watch a lot of him in the Hart Foundation days in the '80s when he was with Nine Hart and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I remember when he had the Solar Run. You know, of course, who didn't love Bret Hart back in the '90s? You know,
Him,
he was
apparently.
but
Apparently me.
oh, he was like 2 when it happened. You know, when he was
Very
in the
true.
Solar Run.
That is
but,
true.
I can understand because like now, like if you go back and watch a lot of stuff, you're kind of like, yeah, Bret was a great worker, but
Dude, if I'm doing top 10 technical wrestlers,
yeah,
Bret Hart is making that list all day, every day. Him as a whole, he just didn't do it for me.
I got you.
Like, you know,
I get it. He doesn't have a very flamboyant personality. He wasn't incredible on the mic. So I get it.
I wanted those glasses. I want to be
every kid wanted them glasses.
Yeah.
I believe our friend Rob Rankin had a pair.
He's the one I always argue with on Facebook.
Bret Hart's his favorite wrestler of all time, I believe. But
it is, and I love arguing with him.
I believe he told me when we was in high school that he had a pair of those Bret Hart glasses.
Jealous, Rob.
I kind of am too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Couple more. Gotta go with The Undertaker.
Okay.
I mean, that man lived a character until the very last day.
Yeah, absolutely.
He never broke character ever.
The weird thing is, like, his last couple years, it's not obviously his last couple, but he started having like some of his best matches, like against like Shawn Michaels and Triple H at WrestleMania. Yeah. Like, they were some of his best matches.
Absolutely. Yeah, they were definitely some of his best matches. And last on my list of honorable mentions, I'm leaving a bunch of people off, but that's just for sake of brevity. Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is absolutely incredible.
The man.
That moment when she got her face busted open by Nia Jax and was just standing in the crowd, just cool with it. And I'm like, yo, she's a star. Like, I liked her before then, but that just elevated her to a whole nother level because she's sitting there like, I'm the man. And then that happened and she's just standing there bleeding like, I don't care. I'm still the man. Like, it just cemented everything for me.
So I can't argue because she's the only female wrestler who I have a shirt of, and I have the man shirt.
Yeah.
I love her. So to me, I didn't put any women on my list because I want to like do them respect and give them their own list.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
That's how I looked at it. I could, you know what I mean?
We could say that for another day.
We could save that for another day, but I also wanted to make sure I highlighted her to say that she's on equal ground with these people.
Oh, no.
So I don't want to exclude her completely because I don't want people thinking that I'm looking down on her because she's a female. She is by far one of the best women's wrestlers ever. And I'm putting her over people like Lita, Trish Stratus. I put her above them. So I feel she's better on the mic than both of them.
So you're not getting an argument here. What I'm saying, because I believe, me personally, I always felt the 4 horsewomen of wrestling, Sasha, Becky, Charlotte, and Bayley, I always felt they held matches on par or sometimes better than the men. You know,
Charlotte's overrated.
So you know what? No.
Charlotte is over.
No. Charlotte holds
She's a nepo baby.
matches.
She's a 100% nepo.
She holds excellent matches.
She holds solid matches.
She holds excellent matches.
Solid. Her excellent matches are with excellent opponents.
Go back and watch them in NXT.
Oh, I did. I saw them come up through NXT.
So did I, and they've all held great matches.
She's held great matches with great partners.
Well, yeah, everyone.
Her great matches are with the rest of the 4 horsewomen.
Yes. Everyone needs an excellent, partner. And she wasn't going.
Becky Lynch brought excellent matches out of other people, though.
Well, she ain't
Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks, or now Mercedes Moné, literally got Stephanie Vicaire on WWE's radar.
Yeah,
on her own.
Well, she's my favorite of them.
No
so
one
but
was
what I'm saying is,
interested in Stephanie Vicaire until she had that match with Mercedes, and then all of a sudden WWE was interested.
What I'm saying is none of them was going to have excellent matches with Brie Bella. You know what I'm saying? Like they held solid matches with her, but you weren't going to carry her to a 5-star match.
Charlotte is still overrated. I'm not saying she's bad. She's just overrated.
She's one of the 4 greatest ever because it's those 4. Lita and Trish in there too. Wherever you want to.
I'll put Lita and Trish over her easily.
That's not an insult to her though. She's still she's still one of the greatest women.
She's still near the top. Don't get me wrong.
We're gonna do a list of the greatest women, and then we're gonna argue about it.
Okay.
But again, I'm not saying that the women are less or anything. I just separate them. That's all.
One thing I do like about Lita and Trish was when they first came into business, they were managers. Because Trish managed TNA, right?
Yeah, she did.
Yep.
Testing Albert.
It was with the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
Even before that, she was with S.A. Rios.
Yes, she was.
Yes, she was.
Yeah,
her whole
Trish was with S.A.
No,
Lita
was.
Lita was.
Because remember, S.A. Rios would beat you with his moonsault, and then she would hop up after he pinned him, and she'd do it herself.
Yeah.
But for them to start off as managers, just to get where they're at now, and their legacy is phenomenal.
Yeah,
you do got to give them credit for that. They came
pioneers.
in as just valets. They were there to probably just be eye candy because we all know Vince is a perv.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they grew into 2 of the best women's wrestlers ever.
Yes, agreed.
That's the end of my honorable mentions because honestly, I can go on forever. So I'm gonna just cut it off there.
All right. You want me to?
Yeah, good.
All right, so for my honorable mentions, first off, and it sucked leaving each one of these guys off my top. Any of them could be replaced into the top 10, and I wouldn't argue it. But first off, Bryan Danielson, or Daniel Bryan, however you want to look at him.
Great wrestler.
Absolutely one of my favorites. I absolutely love the yes movement and then the no movement.
Have a shirt.
He, you said you have the shirt?
I have the yes shirt, absolutely.
Yeah, There's nothing bad I could say about him. When he got hurt and was gone, it sucked. I was so happy to see him retired.
Right.
Seeing him come back was a great moment.
Absolutely.
Well packaged.
Number 2, and I'm just gonna lump these 3 dudes in it. Everyone in the Shield.
Okay.
Oh, you're just lumping them all together?
Dean and Romans. They're all in my honorable mention, so it's just easier to say the entire Shield. And the only reason that they're not in the top 10 is just because of my top 10 are like all legends right now.
Okay.
Got you.
And those dudes are working their way to replacing some of these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Roman, I just feel you can't deny what he's done.
You can't deny the growth he had.
Oh my God.
Because he was by far the weakest of the 3 at first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By far was the weakest.
But I acknowledge him, even though he punched me in the face. I haven't gotten over that, but I acknowledge him.
It's on Facebook somewhere. Someone usually posts a picture every year with.
Oh yeah, Roman Reigns punching you in the face is by far some of the funniest things there. I think I was there. I think I was at that episode of Raw when you got punched in the face. I'm pretty sure I was.
Seth, to me, is my favorite of them, and he's been even before they were called up and were the Shield. As a matter of fact, when I actually wrestled, my finisher was the curb stomp. And then he was called up 2 weeks after my first match. And I was like, not using that anymore. So,
this when he was Tyler Black?
No, he was still...
Yeah, he was Seth at that time.
He was still Seth Rollins.
But I liked him when he was Tyler.
I liked him. I liked him in ROH as Tyler Black.
Yeah, it was literally like, I did it in a match. And then 2 weeks later, the Shield debuted. And I was like, well, there that goes. I was like, well... But next up, and I know a lot of people don't like him. I don't really care. There's a reason he's on my list, and not just because he carried the WWE for 10 years or 10 plus years, however long. John Cena.
He grew on me.
And the reason John Cena made it is because we've seen him change from Thugnomics to the John Cena that he is today. And charisma-wise, he's one of the greatest ever.
Yes, for sure.
You know, and I know people, oh, well, he can't wrestle. Well, then you missed his U.S. title reign.
That U.S. title run was great.
Wrestled his ass off.
The open challenges and all that.
Oh, yeah. During that title reign. And that's the reason that he is on my list, just because of that U.S. title reign. And my last, on my honorable mention, it hurt me to say this. Oh, I'm sorry, I got two more. But this one, it really, really hurt me to say this. Kurt Angle. I know. He should be on my top 10. But when I made my top 10 and I did all the research for it, I don't know how he slipped. Because he is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I know Malik's upset because he probably has him a lot higher. I know. And I'm not going to argue with you that he doesn't deserve to be higher. Because now that I look at my list, I'm like, I can replace a few of these people with Kurt. But I had already done my research, so I'm not going back on it.
Okay. All right.
Last but not least, I got Macho Man. Absolutely love Macho Man.
How the hell did I leave him off my list?
That's an honorable mention?
He don't even have him on the list.
Oh, my. All right.
How did I
get to mine?
You got to see who I got on my list, though. You got to see who I got on my list.
Yeah, I should have had him at least as an honorable mention. I feel ashamed.
You know what? I'm making a change right now. Kurt Angle is no longer on my honorable mention. He's going to number 10. My number 10, my last honorable mention is the bad guy.
Razor Ramon.
Razor Ramon.
What a great...
Absolutely love him. That's why he was originally on my top 10, but I completely forgot about Kurt Angle.
I just got to add him to my honorable mentions because I didn't have him there either.
Oh, man.
He needs to be added to my honorable mentions. And I'm going to add one more to my honorable mentions because I feel this guy does not get enough respect, and he deserves his respect. Sean Waltman, X-Pac, Six, 1-2-3 Kid, whatever you want to call him. No one gives this man the respect that he's deserved. He is by far a phenomenal wrestler.
Oh, absolutely.
And everyone treats him like he was just a jobber. X-Pac was incredible.
I think people tend to only remember him in DX, and he was like the small person in DX.
Yeah. But when you're surrounded by guys who are
6'9"
6'9" and 7 feet tall, of course you're going to look small. Sean Waltman is not small.
Yeah.
He was like 6'2".
Yeah.
Was he really that tall?
He's like 6'2",
I thought he was
6'3".
I thought he was like 5'10".
No, he's like 6'2".
I didn't know Billy Gunn was like 6'7".
Yeah, Billy Gunn's 6'7". Like people, like when you're standing next to people who's 6'9" all the time, yeah, you're gonna look tiny.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Razor Ramon, loved him. 2-time Hall of Famer, NWO, and by himself. He had me carrying toothpicks in my mouth.
Oh yeah,
as I was in like 4th or 5th grade, and I'm walking around school all day with a toothpick for no reason. You know, he's the reason I love to be the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
that's cool.
I think he made it cool to be the bad guy. So
yeah,
but
that's a great pick. I like your honorable mentions. I do.
It hurt to leave them off my list.
Did make me feel bad to not even mention Macho Man in my honorable mentions.
Shame on you.
I mean,
That is a shame,
better
but
have-
that's just because of the litany of great wrestlers.
You better not have
Right.
Ultimate Warrior on that list.
I swear to God, if one of you have Ultimate Warrior on your list, I'm gonna flip this table.
All right, I'm gonna start my honorable mention. First I got Mae Young. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
She did have a hand.
Mae Young actually is underrated. She's a good wrestler.
She was.
tough as all hell.
Yeah,
From what I
yeah.
heard, she was a good person too.
Yeah, I mean,
unlike
you
the
see-
other
You
one.
see Rosie or Jamal, which one was it? Umaga, they freaking threw all the 350 plus pounds all on her when she was in the turnbuckle and all that shit.
Yeah, don't forget about Bubba Ray powerbombing her.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so on the bottom, I got Owen Hart. I had Owen in my top 10, actually. I actually like Owen better than Brett. I think Owen was a better worker.
I agree.
I think Owen was a better talker. But
That part I agree with. I
But,
think Brett's a better worker.
I think they were neck and neck.
So
but obviously Brett had better charisma, obviously, because Owen had some bag.
I think Owen had much better charisma. It's-
Owen was part
Owen
of the
was
Nation of
just
domination.
Yes.
Owen was just giving bad stuff.
Yeah, like Blue
Owen was
Blazer,
what? Yeah, the Blue
Rocket.
Blazer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He was so much the better, more charismatic than Brett.
I agree with. I think it was Owen. So
Yeah. Then I got Brett on there too, obviously,
Okay.
for honorable mention. I got Eddie Guerrero.
Okay.
This one here, he's going to be top 10 when he's done, but he's still young right now. I got MJF on here. When he's done, like I said,
I could foresee him being a top 10 when he's done.
Yeah, it's too young.
I think it's too early to even put him on honorable mentions.
yeah, I agree with that. And I really like.
Because there's
him. I
another
really
guy.
like him.
There's another guy that I'd put in that list too, but he's not. It's not time yet.
Adam Cole, baby.
I'm not even talking about him.
All right, so
But
after to MJF,
Okay.
okay,
Yep.
I got CM Punk. I hated CM Punk
So-
at first.
I left him off my list.
I
and
originally
shouldn't have.
had him in my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
but as I kept adding people, I was like,
This list is
only
getting too
because
long.
he took off so long.
Okay, that's
But
fair.
CM Punk's easily one of the people I enjoy watching.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I have no argument there.
Great on the mic.
Yeah, great.
Good on
mic.
the.
Dude,
Good,
the pipe bomb is still like I'm
Iconic.
going back and just randomly listening to
Good
it.
Yeah,
worker.
still
Great
iconic.
worker.
Great worker.
great worker. I think he has lost a step and it's noticeable, but he's still solid.
He's
Oh,
in
yeah,
his
you
late
take a
40s,
10-year break
He's
in
in
here.
late
Yeah.
40s too. So
Yeah, but even still, like
Right.
there's some people that's older that still can
Okay.
go. They just modify their style.
Plus, he gets extra points for just being with AJ Lee.
absolutely.
I still don't know how he pulled her.
More power to him, man. So after that,
Aleister Black's even more confusing.
I got Bryan Danielson, like you had on yours. Just complete package, just overall, just great.
Absolutely.
Undertaker, Eddie Guerrero, Booker T. In
Booker T.
in the last one, I felt like he never got his props more because he never was a world title holder. Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig.
Kurt Hennig was great.
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 I don't
Great
know-
character. Great worker.
I don't know.
I don't know why they didn't push him. He had the look and everything.
That
I
perfect
don't
plex
know
was
why they
gorgeous.
didn't push
It
him.
was. Yeah, he was
Huh?
great.
That perfect plex was
The
gorgeous.
perfect play. No one. There's literally no one that does a fisherman suplex like he does. No one.
And I don't
And
know.
only person that has a type of bridge suplex that looks close, which is weird for me to say, is Alicia Fox. Her Northern Light suplex was a thing of beauty.
She was on her tippy toes every single time she hit it. It was perfect.
It was
Her
it
bridge was perfect.
Yes, her Northern Light suplex was absolute perfection. She couldn't do anything else, but that Northern Light suplex was absolutely perfect.
She had a decent leg drop.
Sure.
But yeah, those are all my honorable mentions. But just yeah, those are all mine. So if you want to start the top 10s, whoever wants to go first, it don't matter to me.
You can start off your top 10. How you want to do this? Do
I'm
you want
going
to just
from-
go through the whole list?
Yeah, I'm going.
Or do you just want to go we each give our 10 and then discuss?
I don't care. You know, let's switch it up. Let's each give our 10 and then
Discuss and then
Yeah.
each move down. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead with your 10.
Okay. I'm doing a whole 10. or
Nope,
one?
just your number 10.
yeah.
I hate this man with a passion now, but I can't ignore what he's done for the business. I hate him I hate him now. He's a racist piece of crap.
No.
But I have to
No.
put
no,
him on here.
No.
No, you don't.
No, you do not.
No, you
Yeah,
don't.
he's
No.
the reason I got into the
No.
whole thing.
No.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No.
He's not my favorite. I can't. I have to acknowledge it.
No.
Unfortunately, he's the reason I even started watching wrestling.
He can't wrestle.
I know that. I didn't believe it.
He cannot. He had the worst finisher of all time.
Yes.
I agree.
No.
I can't. I just
Go ahead, say the name.
Mm-mm.
Trash Hogan.
No.
But
No.
again, I can't deny.
If you're talking about impact and what
Yes.
he's done for the business, I can 100%
Yeah.
understand.
The heel turn.
If you're talking about the package, no, because he couldn't wrestle.
Couldn't wrestle.
He wasn't that great on the mic.
No.
no, he wasn't.
You know what I mean?
He
And then on top of it, what he said was 100% a fucking lie. And I'm not talking about character. I'm talking about your job as Hulk Hogan was to be the guy to inspire children. Say your prayers, take your vitamins. What you mean is cheat on your wife and take your steroids.
oh, absolutely. But
No.
But at that time, I didn't know anything.
And hate
about
your
that.
daughter's boyfrand because
He's black.
Because he's
Racist,
black.
But
And
still,
racist.
just-
No.
He's never going to.
No.
I'm never going to mention
Honestly,
him on
that's
anything.
just as bad as having Ultimate Warrior on the list.
Oh no, fuck him.
Well,
Well, I don't like neither one of them, but I'm just
Dude,
saying.
matter of fact-
I was a bigger Hogan fan.
just
than Warrior
because
fan.
he hates Hogan and because I like him anyway, Iron Sheik is going on my honorable mentions.
I'm cool with that.
I'm okay with that, too.
Fuck Hulk Hogan. Rest in peace, Iron Sheik.
Right. R.I.P. Iron Sheik. Just because he been telling us for years Hulk Hogan sucks.
Yeah.
And we didn't listen.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
nobody. That was the thing. He was for kids.
Here's my thing. Other than maybe the match at WrestleMania, can you go back and watch a single Hulk Hogan match right now
Well, which WrestleMania match?
with The Rock?
There's literally only two.
No, all his matches weren't good. Like,
They were awful.
They were
So,
awful.
so he doesn't. No.
Literally the Hogan match, the
He doesn't-
Hogan Rock match, and the Hogan Andre the Giant match. Those are literally the only ones I can watch.
I actually watched that not that long ago. That match wasn't really that great.
It was
I ain't
awful.
say it was
great.
Right. It
awful.
was just he picked him up.
He picked,
Yeah.
And funny
Yeah.
thing was he was. I don't think he was even the first one to pick Andre up. I think
No.
it was, I don't know if it was Tony Atlas or Kamala.
And it wasn't even the first time that he did it.
Yeah, he did like 3 years before.
They just hyped it up like it was the first time.
And he really didn't even pick him up. He kind of just tumbled him over.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But
And
whatever.
And Andre was at the end of his career anyway. At that time, anyway,
Right.
He could barely walk
No.
by that time.
You need to change that.
All right, I'll take it off. I'll take it off. I can't ignore what he got me into being a fan, but I'll
Yes,
take him off.
I can.
But
I can
100% I can. You
yeah.
can't.
And I love his heel
You
turn.
can't leave Eddie Guerrero off and then put him on. No,
His
man,
heel
no.
turn was great. He still had the greatest heel turn ever.
The greatest heel
absolutely.
turn?
Greatest?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the greatest.
It wasn't the
I wouldn't say the greatest. It was a damn good one.
It was a good
But
one.
again,
it
there's
wasn't-
only one heel turn that brought a tear to my eye. And then all of a sudden he was like, oh snap, he was a heel. And that was Mark Henry. that retirement speech, I was in tears.
That
So
would
I'm
be
like,
great if they would let him get over, and they didn't even let him get over.
yeah, but I'm just saying, it
Well,
was,
Vince, man.
that's Vince.
Yeah, it's fucking Vince. You know what I mean?
hell, Roman Reigns has a better heel turn right now.
Yeah. There's so many better heel turns.
Hollywood Rock,
Hollywood Rock.
great.
What's his name? The Kevin Owens turning on Chris Jericho. That was a better heel
Yeah.
turn.
Nah.
It was a better heel turn.
Anyways, what's your number
Anyway.
10?
Seth Rollins breaking up the Shield.
That was a great heel turn, but I still got HBK and Hogan over that.
Nah,
Yeah.
not Hogan. Not Hogan.
No.
Yeah.
Nah.
But anyway,
My
yeah.
number
HBK,
10?
sure.
My number 10 is I'm cheating. I know I'm cheating, but I don't care. I'm going with the New Day.
You know what?
The New Day is fantastic.
Can we talk about how much we hated the New Day when they first came out?
They hated the New Day when
We
they first
were
came out.
so against that. I remember us talking. We were like so against that. We were like, this is so stupid. Why are they doing this? And then it was maybe like a month later, month or two
It wasn't
later.
even, it was longer than that.
Was it? Okay.
They were trying to have them be baby faces, and people
Yeah.
weren't buying it. And then when they turned them heel, that's when we were like, okay,
Yeah.
now we're going somewhere.
And I remember we both had the shirt.
I still got that
I
shirt.
still
right?
got the shirt too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we all
no,
had it. Yeah.
absolutely love New Day. To me, I don't think Kofi gets the respect that he deserves.
I agree.
I'm glad he did eventually win the title, which I never thought they was going to let him. But I
But
felt
that
it was
run
a
was
little,
terrible.
I felt it
They-
was a little bit too late. He
And
should
they
have
gave
won
him a
it.
bad run.
He
with
should have
it,
won
too.
it when he feuded with Randy Orton.
But Randy, that's part of the thing where I was saying Randy grew because Randy killed that push.
Yeah, what was it Randy's decision? I don't know. I don't.
Yes,
know. It was okay.
Randy Orton went back and told them he's not ready. because he missed that one spot in the match. Remember where he
Oh,
flipped off?
stupid,
Yes.
stupid. Yeah, I remember. Okay, well,
Yes.
you know what?
And he killed
Maybe
his
Randy
push.
was right.
I don't know.
I think when he won it, it was magical.
Oh, my
it was,
goodness.
You know, I hate the way they ended it. It was so disrespectful. But I mean, I remember watching a video of MVP and Shad. They were
Literally
backstage and they're
shedding
crying.
tears.
Yeah.
Like,
were they backstage?
no, not
I thought
backstage.
They were just at a bar.
They were watching it
They was
on
at a
TV. I'm
bar.
sorry.
Bar,
They were
yeah.
on TV. Yeah.
Yeah, and you shed a tear because you know how much it meant to people like us.
Absolutely.
Dude, I remember like leading up to it, I was like, they're not gonna let him win. I was like, they're not gonna let him win. I was like,
Right.
I'm not even gonna get my hopes up because I know they're not gonna let him win. And when the ref counted 3, I was like, and I was just staring at the TV and I was like, there's no way that they just let him win. Was I over your house for that?
I think we did. I think that was one of the ones we had here. Yeah.
And that was WrestleMania 35, if I recall, because that was when Becky won too.
Yeah.
Because everyone was all pissed because they did that Vince threw Charlotte in last minute with that triple. It was with her, Ronda, and Becky. Everyone was like, "This is Becky's time."
Yeah.
Like nobody
Nepo
wants to
baby.
see yeah.
Like I was
Nepo
saying,
baby.
Charlotte's a Nepo baby.
Sorry.
Yeah, but they were trying to push Rousey. Charlotte came in to make the match better.
Yeah. It was,
They could have had a solid match, but no one wanted Charlotte. She wasn't needed.
agreed.
They had the heat in the match. Charlotte wasn't needed. They just had to throw her in there to just try to make sure she got in there.
If you watch Ronda work a full match,
Yes. She's not great. Don't get me wrong. I get it. But Becky is good enough to have a solid match. Would it have been an all-timer? Probably not. But she could have still had a solid match with her.
yeah. All right. My number 10, like I said, I changed it from Razor Ramon to Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle's your number 10?
I would have to rework this list. He needs to be a lot higher.
Much
I
higher.
love everything about Kurt Angle from,
His
the moment
ring
he
work.
came in and every single thing was, I won the Olympics with a broken freaking neck, to the milk truck, which was a hilarious play on Stone Cold's beer truck. Him losing the hair match and then because he was actually balding,
right.
And walking around with the wig on, with the wrestling headgear holding it on.
Yep. To even his time in TNA when he was doing backflips off the cage. And you're like, what are you doing?
People
dude?
need to see his TNA run.
Oh my God.
His TNA run was fantastic. Most people don't know about him. Still, one of my favorite matches of all time was him versus Samoa Joe in that lockdown match, where they had it more like an MMA fight. Oh, it was great.
So take him being number 10 with a grain of salt, because honestly, he should. Let me looking through my list. He should be number 5. He should be number 5. So yeah, but
All right.
All right.
So we on number 9?
9. All right, my number 9. I'll just kick it off.
Yes, sir.
The rated R superstar,
I knew it.
Edge.
I knew it. I knew it.
I love Edge. You think you know me from
Metalingus.
Come on, man. He's a Hall of Famer for a reason. Him
Not a
coming
bad
back
pick.
at the Royal Rumble, and I was definitely over your house for that.
We lost our shit when that
We
happened.
stopped and we were like, "Oh shit, is Edge really back?" Like, yeah, no, there's no way I could leave Edge off. I mean, come on, man. He's a 4-time WWE champ, 7-time World Heavyweight champ. His run, his Matt Hardy when he took Lita,
Yeah.
that was great. The stuff him and Lita was doing to make him the rated R superstar. That
Right.
was
The live sex celebration.
yes. His spear of Jeff Hardy from the title.
Yeah.
And the tag. You talking about the
TLC
tag
matches.
TLC match?
Dude, I love Edge. Or I'm
match.
sorry, what is he called now? Copeland or Cope?
Rated R
Cope.
Cope. Rated R
Yeah,
Cope.
Rated R superstar. Cope.
He's one of the. Growing up, it was like I liked the Hardy Boys better, but he always stood out to me. Even when he was him and Christian were in the Brood. He was always, to me, it was like anytime he was on screen, he was shining.
Yeah.
So
Real quick, people are making such a big deal of him going by Cope right now. I'm like, well, first of all, it's his last name shortened. The man was called Edge his entire career.
Yeah.
that makes just as little sense as Cope.
Yeah.
But no one questioned it. But now that he wants to go by Cope, everybody's like, "Oh, that's stupid."
I don't care what they say, because let's not forget, he is the first ever Money in the Bank winner.
Yes,
The 1st ever. 2-time Royal Rumble winner, even
the
coming
ultimate
back.
opportunist.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Just one of my favorite of all time.
I can't disagree with that. I don't have him on my list, but I'm not mad at that
Yeah,
being on
I'm
yours.
okay with that. All right, so actually, I'm going to take Hogan off my list.
Shouldn't have been there in the first
Should not
place.
have been there.
Just because of because I was a Hulkamaniac, but I still hate him. But anyways, I'm putting Owen Hart at 10 because I still like Owen better than Brett.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
I would even take Brett.
Yeah. Nah. Okay. Anyway, so number 9, a lot of people, if you really watch wrestling, you know about him, but I feel like he does not get the shine he deserves.
So I see who you have written down there.
Yeah.
And do you understand? He was my 10 when I originally made this list. He was my number 10, so you have no argument here.
All right. Yeah, we always talk about his match with Macho Man at WrestleMania 3. His rivalry with Flair in the NWA days, his WCW run. I got to put Ricky the Dragon at 9.
When we first said this, I was like, all right, where am I putting Steamboat? And then I started making my list, and I was like, crap, forgot him.
Yeah.
So
he never gets the acknowledgement that he really deserves.
great wrestler.
Great wrestler. And Ollie never went heel.
No.
Never turned heel.
Yeah, you get no argument here. I absolutely love him.
Yes.
Yeah. You'll get no argument from me either. He's not on my list, but
I
he
thought
definitely
he was gonna be on
deserves to
yours.
be there. Nope, he's not on my
Okay,
list,
I'm sorry.
but he definitely deserves to be.
He was supposed to be on mine, 100%. It was like literally when y'all said we were doing this, I was like, all right. I was like, I know who these guys are, and I was like, where am I putting Steamboat? I was like, maybe I'll put him in that 8 or 9 range,
Right.
And then I started making it, and he accidentally got left off, but no argument.
Okay. My turn.
Yes, sir.
Number 9. This man has revolutionized a type of wrestling in this country. Rey Mysterio.
I had no problem with that at all.
I mean, I'm not arguing at all, so I don't want it to seem like I'm arguing. I'm trying to find the words. I want to say I don't think there will be another luchador in this country with the mask as big as him.
I agree.
So
That
no
that
argument.
shows the impact that he has.
Right. Dose was playing with his wrestlers the other day, and I hear him screaming 619, 619, and I'm like, okay. I know he's at least playing with the Rey Mysterio. I hope so. I don't know who he was playing it with, but
Yeah, Rey Mysterio brought Lucha Libre to America. Yes, he had, some cohorts and Psychosis and Juventud Guerrera and such, but he made it popular.
He did.
He made the high flying style popular. Like, yeah, there were some people that did some flying. Ricky Steamboat did a little bit. No one forgets about Snuka jumping off the top of the cage. But where their whole style was centered around flying around, he was the first one. And he's the one that made me go, wow.
he
He's
made
incredible.
He made it believable that a little guy can beat the bigger guys.
Yes.
You're just like, well, just the stuff he's doing.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
that's
He's
why
just,
they can't
he's just
stop
running circles around him.
Yeah.
He knows if they get a hold of him, he's done. He's just running circles around him.
And you know what? I always wanted a mask, and now that I'm adult and have adult money, I'm definitely going to buy one.
I think I'm
Definitely
gonna.
I'm gonna buy one.
I think I need to.
The 2 earliest moments I remember of Rey Mysterio was obviously him wrestling Ultimo Dragon and and Psycho La Parka and all them, and Kevin Nash throwing him in that damn trailer.
Or the NWO, and he was like a star.
Lawn darted him into the trailer.
yeah,
I
but-
knew that. I knew you were going to say that.
I remember Babyface Ray too.
Yeah.
Remember Filthy Animals, Ray, without the mask.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When he Babyface, he looked like a baby.
Yeah.
He won.
Yeah.
All of them did. They took off when Juventud Guerrero lost his mask. I'm like, he looks like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And I want to say this. I apologize to Ray, not for not making my list. He should have, but at least some honorable mentions. But I apologize for ever thinking that Sin Cara could one day be on your level.
Not even close.
That's what I said. I apologize. He was a botch machine.
Oh yeah. People don't understand how hard that stuff is.
And I understand.
Like, people don't understand how, like, oh, he botched. You realize that you don't have a lot of margin for error, and there's not like, oh, take two.
Yeah, I'm about to say there's no takes.
Yeah, like it's not like a movie. You think they do it right every single time in a movie?
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
So,
All right, so on number 8.
Number 8, I gotta go with the Nature Boy. Woo! Ric Flair.
No argument, man. No argument here.
Number 8.
Yep.
all right, y'all just waiting for me to argue.
Yeah, of course you get.
Well,
He's
making that face, you obviously have an argument to make.
He's higher on my list. That's all I'm saying.
Same.
That's all I'm gonna say. He's a lot higher on my list.
Okay, cool. I thought you were gonna hate, but
I thought you
No,
was
I
too.
ain't gonna hate.
No,
Yeah, the face you made looked like
because he's a lot higher on my list than
Okay.
8.
okay.
So
Okay. I mean, the reason why I have him as 8 is because because he's holding on for too long. Dog, stop.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
And 2, like, I enjoyed Ric Flair, but there's so many more people I enjoyed more than him. But I couldn't just ignore him just because I enjoyed people more.
he said he wants another match. He's like,
Yeah, he's out of his
70 now?
mind.
He's like
needs to sit his ass down.
75. Like,
Yeah, that's
stop.
crazy.
He's already had, I think, several heart attacks. Sit your ass down.
Put down the sauce, Rick.
So, all right. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Still my dude.
who you got?
Chris Jericho.
Okay.
Because this high guy shit that he's doing is terrible. But
Another one. He's higher on my list.
yeah.
So I'm not going to argue. I
just-
love Jericho.
Like his I hated when I was back in the 90s, I was a face guy. So like I hated him in WCW.
Oh,
but
he was
I
great
know
in
he was
WCW.
great in WCW.
He's great.
I didn't start becoming a heel until like Angle showed up and stuff.
I still can't forget 3 feuds. One, the mask, when he was a mask collector and he beat, like, he would call Juventud Guerrero Quasimodo, and he took Rey Mysterio's mask. 2, the feud with Dean Malenko where he had the list of 1,001 holds,
Yep.
and every other move was armbar. And the last one, this one is so obscure, but it just sticks in my memory. His feud with the Hawaiian wrestler Prince Iaukea, who also had a beautiful Northern Light suplex, but he always called him Prince Akimaki.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that feud stuck in my head for so long, but it was just great. But
Ayatollah of rock and roll.
yeah, but I thought about Chris Jericho. If you look at my list here of names, he's on there, but he's not making top 10 solely.
You telling me he didn't make the list?
No,
Oh,
he did not make the list. He didn't make top 10 solely for his current run. And I'm not just talking about the most current, the high guys thing. I'm talking about basically his entire AEW run. Outside of the very early part, it just hasn't been good. The man, if anyone has seen that Simpsons commercial where Marge, or not commercial, the episode where Marge found like a Chanel business suit or something, and everyone loved it, but people started getting tired of it, so she kept sewing it.
She kept wearing it every day.
Yeah, and then she started sewing it from a business suit to a dress. She kept taking the same outfit and changing it to try to make it something different. That's literally what Jericho has done in AEW.
that's fair.
So
He started off with the Inner Circle.
Yes.
Okay.
Then the Jericho
Then the Jericho Appreciation Society. Then whatever
Learning
this
Tree?
is, the Learning Tree. Now, my biggest issue with that is name one person that was in any of those stables that came out a bigger star than they went in.
None.
None.
The closest one was Sammy. But
Closest thing
he
was
kind of
Sammy.
self-destructed his own thing
Yes.
anyway. But
Closest one was Sammy Guevara. He had the best current tag team in his group with Santana and Ortiz. How was he wrestling for the tag team titles
and they
instead of
wasn't.
them?
Yeah.
now I'll say this: Chris Jericho is 54 years old.
So yes, at this point, he should be trying to get people over
So
instead of trying to make it shine on himself.
to be honest, at this point, he should be retired.
Yeah, I agree.
So-
Yeah,
Well, I
agree.
can't sit there and say he should be retired when Sting was 60-something years old still wrestling.
And Sting should have been retired.
But Sting's run was actually pretty decent, don't get me wrong.
But still,
But
I'm just saying. So I can't hold his current AEW run against him because he, like you said, it's like the same thing over and over. But in his time from WCW to WWE, he changed.
he was
with
the master
times.
of reinventing
Yeah,
himself.
exactly. So
He
much.
was.
So to me, I'm like, I
So-
look at it at the end like, yeah, it might be bad, but I can't hold it against him. That's how I look. That's how.
But
I
I'm
look
like
at things.
that. But that's what kept him out of my top 10.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. He's still a top notch performer.
Right.
I'm not saying he's trash now because of this run. I'm just saying it takes him out of the top 10 for me.
I got you. That's
Because
fair.
I'd have had him around 9 or 10.
That's fair. So, was it just me now?
Yes, sir.
My number 8 is, we already talked about him, but the third generation superstar, the 3 most dangerous letters in wrestling, Mr. RKO himself,
Randy Orton.
Randall Keith Orton.
Randy Orton's turned out to be one of the greats. I can't argue with you there.
Just going down his list of accomplishments, to me, 14-time world champ, he's only surpassed by 2 people.
What, Cena and
Cena and Flair. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And he's still going strong.
Yes.
So we don't know if he can tie that or not. But
They're not going to let him.
Yeah, but he's still the man from the time he became the Legend Killer on. He's just, to me, but I liked him even before that when he was part of Evolution.
Yeah, great stable.
So one of the
Great
best.
See, that's what I'm
One of the
talking
best.
about. With the whole issue with Jericho. Evolution. Every single guy, obviously Flair was Flair, so he
Right.
didn't need to become anything. Triple H was at his peak pretty much.
yes.
But both Batista and Orton came out of that group
Mm-hmm.
a bigger star than they went in.
Yeah, but you're talking about
Absolutely.
anomalies when you're talking about them. You know what I mean? Like, they were destined to be great.
I'm not saying that.
First of all, that whole class that they were in was great.
Oh,
That
yeah,
whole
absolutely.
OVW class was great. I mean, you talking
Absolutely.
them two, Cena,
Cena,
Brock
Brock
Lesnar,
Lesnar.
like Shelton Benjamin was in that group.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that these people should have come out looking like being all-time level performers. But the whole point of a stable is to get people bigger than where they were. And they weren't. When Santana and Ortiz came to AEW, they were already considered for one of the top tag teams in the world currently. By the time the not the Jericho Appreciation Society, the Inner Circle was done, they were an afterthought.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm not.
So not only did he not make them better, he didn't even keep them where they were at.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess you could say the same knock on Randy Orton then. When he had that stable with Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes.
I disagree.
I don't.
Ted didn't go anywhere. Cody came out of that looking better.
Did he?
Yes.
Not very
I don't
much,
think so
though.
at all.
He didn't become a star. Don't get me wrong. By the time he left, when he left, what did they call it?
Who was the name?
What, Stardust?
No,
No,
I'm
what was the
talking
name of
about
that
the
group?
Legacy.
Legacy. There you go.
Legacy,
Yep.
yeah.
When he left Legacy, that's when he started getting the IC title runs and all of that. All he was before then was Bob Holly's tag team partner.
But I think Cody himself I've always liked Cody ever since dashing Cody Rhodes.
But and that was after Legacy.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I'm saying.
but
Like,
I
all
think
of this
Cody was always destined to be here just because of his pure charisma. Like,
yeah, he's good.
Cody made everything good.
He was going to be good, but I'm saying by the time he was done, people were clamoring for Cody. They wanted Cody to turn on Randy Orton
okay,
when
fair
he was
enough.
being mistreated.
Fair enough.
He made them better. Now, did he make them as great of a star as they could have been? Probably not, but still, they came out better than where they were.
Right.
Speaking of Ted DiBiase, he still has one of the best intro songs of all time. I don't care what nobody says.
The original one?
That I come from money, I come from cash.
You talking about Junior
Junior.
or
Junior, yeah, Junior.
I don't remember it.
That's how it went.
Ain't he in jail anyway?
Yeah, he is a awful person.
In jail.
Starting to be a theme with wrestlers here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, not good.
All right, well, number 7.
I had Rey Mysterio, and we already talked about that. So
Rey Mysterio?
yeah,
Rey Mysterio's
like
a good
just
pick.
Number 7?
WCW, like you said, the whole mask and just
No argument there.
no
argument there.
It was Rey Mysterio.
What's your number 7?
My number 7 is the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy.
Surprisingly, not on my list.
So
Yeah, not on mine either.
when I grew up, every little boy wanted to be Jeff Hardy.
Absolutely.
We was swanton bombing off our bed or into the pool or wherever.
Stupid-ass dance,
like
but-
I just seen a thing where he said if he had made better life choices in his 20s, he'd have been bigger than John Cena. And I agree. Every little kid from where I was at wanted to be Jeff Hardy.
I disagree.
They would have had a great rivalry, probably. Most likely.
I disagree only for one reason. And I'm not saying that he wouldn't have been a big star, because would he have been as popular more popular than fans than John Cena? Absolutely. Everybody wanted to be Jeff Hardy.
That's what he's talking about.
Would he have had the career that John Cena had? No.
Well, they was pushing Jeff. They had
They
no
were
problem
pushing
pushing
Jeff.
him. But if you take away,
he had a ceiling in Vince's eyes. You could be a world title holder for a month or two, have a little run here and there, but you was never going to be the guy,
Like the long-term guy and stuff like that.
You were never going to be the guy.
what I'm saying is that kids wise, like how kids love Cena, that's how we love Jeff Hardy. And like, when let's see, like 99, when he actually got speared in that tag team title match. Yeah, the TLC match.
From Edge, yeah.
I was in 10th grade. 10th grade, Jesus Christ.
I was in 10th grade,
I was
like
10.
99.
I was 10, and I was in 5th grade. Sorry, I meant to say I was 10. Everybody loved Jeff Hardy. We all loved Jeff Hardy. We all did the little stupid dance. We all, like...
Everyone loves Jeff Hardy.
People was wearing the little sleeves, the little, I 100% believe he could have been just as big with kids. So, but I agree with what you're saying with Vince and Bush.
I agree with all of that. The only part I disagree with is his career in the ring. I don't think he would have been pushed.
Well, that's what he said. He
level.
said he feels if he made different life choices.
Yeah,
those was his
and
words,
I'm saying I disagree with that.
Yeah.
Would I have liked him to if he would have stayed clean and stuff? Absolutely, but I just don't think it would have happened. That's just my personal opinion.
Well,
knowing Vince, he doesn't like smaller guys. So
yeah,
that's very true. But so I'm about to say Edge is a little bit bigger, so never mind.
Edge is much bigger.
Yeah,
Edge is like what, 6'5"?
Yeah, Edge is huge. Yeah. Oh, man. All right, who's your number 7?
My number 7?
Yep,
John Cena.
I can't argue that.
John Cena.
Can't argue that.
He's a good worker in the ring. Like we said earlier, that
U.S.
title run was great. But he's not the best in the ring.
I'll tell you what he used to do that used to piss me off. That sunset flip.
Are you talking about his horrible attempt at a Canadian Destroyer?
Canadian Destroyer, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
Awful.
It was bad.
Absolutely awful.
It was terrible. Remember when he had the stupid little back fist punch as a finisher from when he went to China?
Yeah. The little, yeah. Oh, that was terrible.
But that was terrible too.
But when I wrestle with my sons, they love to wrestle all the time. The AA is still my go-to.
Yeah, that's a great.
I liked
move.
it when it was called the FU, but
yeah, he had to.
As
he's
a shot to Brock
for the PG era.
Yeah, he had to clean up his image.
It was a shot at Brock when he did it, but
he's Mr. United Way, Make a Wish. You can't be Mr. Make a Wish with a move called the FU.
I think the only thing missing for me to put Cena in the top 10 is a solid heel run,
which they wouldn't do. And the WrestleMania 29 was the perfect moment for him to do it. And Vince dropped the ball again.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it, but
ruthless aggression.
I mean, he was a heel when he was the Doctor of Thugonomics. It's just people found him funny.
Yeah.
but
He started off as a heel.
But him turning heel, he would have went heel at that WrestleMania.
After he lost to The Rock, he should have turned heel.
That would have been perfect.
yes, it would have been.
He should have
Yep.
turned heel.
Yeah. So,
Number 6 now.
Number 6, who's sparking it off? Me?
I'm good.
Okay.
My number 6, we already spoke about him, Chris Jericho. First ever undisputed champion.
He
Yes.
beat
Him
He beat The Rock and Stone Cold
in the same night.
night.
Him showing up in the middle of the Rock's promo is still one of the best intros.
Oh yeah, that's a
that-
great debut.
Like
Absolutely
Interrupting
was.
arguably the biggest star
I remember,
and going toe to toe with him on the mic.
Absolutely.
I remember for months that countdown coming up. That
Yeah, break
and
the
you're
walls.
like, what is this countdown? What is this? And him showing up, it was phenomenal. So I have always loved Chris Jericho. You know, I mean, even
Like I said,
he's
I
the
love
first
Jericho.
ever AEW champion.
Like I'm saying, I
Yeah.
love Jericho. I just his current run has dropped him out of the top 10 for me.
Well, for
I'm
me,
not-
he's
like I
at
said-
6. He's one of my all time favorites. So
He's just not top 10 for me.
Do you like when he did the tag team with Big Show?
Jericho.
Jericho.
Yeah. You know what? Everything he's done in his time in WWE and WCW, I love. Like I said, I haven't
Yeah.
Right.
delved too much into AEW to give him a fair shake, but I mean, he was always entertaining. Even at the end of it, you just made the list.
You just made the list.
Like,
It's so
I loved
ridiculous that it works.
yeah. Like you said, he was like a model for reinventing himself during his
Absolutely.
time, during his WWE run. So
Yes. He's the master of reinvention. I will not take that away from him.
yeah.
So am I 6 now?
Yep.
I got The Rock at 6.
Rockets.
I know he wasn't like the greatest like technical wrestler, obviously, but his charisma was off through the fucking roof.
Absolutely.
The way he talked on the mic, just all the insults he used to do, whether he was heel or whether he was face, and obviously his matches with Stone Cold during the Attitude Era was just top notch. Like I can't.
So how you mentioned Hulk got you into wrestling?
Yeah.
Rock got me into wrestling.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
He's higher on my list.
Got you.
He's higher on my list.
Yeah, so because he's the Rock.
But
Like,
yeah, but I got him at 6. The Rock concerts were great.
Yes.
You know.
when he was Hollywood Rock,
Oh
and
yeah.
he would sit there with the guitar and say,
Yes.
"Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
His insults. He used to stay on Coach.
Yeah.
Oh man. Coach and Kevin Kelly.
Kevin.
Oh, yep.
Coach had a good theme, by the way. I like Coach.
He had us saying stuff that didn't make sense, like "you Rudy Poo candy ass." Like,
And yeah, that literally
Like-
doesn't mean anything, but we still said it
no.
like we knew it meant something.
no, I was like, I had to be like 10. Like, I love Poontang. Pie.
Poo-Tang 5.
Didn't know what I was talking about.
Right.
But The Rock said it, so it had to be cool.
Had to be cool.
So
He was the model of just cool.
absolutely.
So that's my
So
6.
that's not a bad pick, but I
got
have
him a little higher.
I have him higher too.
I have
So
him
yeah.
But my 6, I think y'all might have him higher. HBK.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Definitely
Yeah,
have him
got
higher.
him higher.
Definitely have him higher. I mean, the Heartbreak Kid,
Yep.
not
Shawn
in the
Michaels.
top 5 is crazy.
Not in the top 5.
That is crazy.
And I know you're going to disagree with me with some of the names I have in the top 5.
I'm yes, because you don't have
It's-
HBK up there.
Especially since some of the stuff you said earlier. So
That's insane. But
HBK in the top 5.
we'll get to him later because clearly me and Tim also got him.
Yeah, he's higher up.
You got him higher.
Yeah,
I'm just like, he's
higher, yeah.
great worker,
Absolutely.
great
Amazing
character,
worker.
good on the mic. Like, don't get me wrong. He's not bad. I just got a couple people above him
That's
that
fine.
I think had done a little bit here and there.
We
that
gonna
I
have to
think
argue
just
about
puts him
that.
above.
And you can't think of a WrestleMania match without him in it. Like with him, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like, yeah,
Mr. WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break him down in a little bit, but
Okay.
No argument. No argument
Yeah,
there.
he's my number 6.
number 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number 5?
Go ahead, Tom.
Oh, HBK. I got him at 5.
I disagree again.
Oh my god. I got him at 5. He has the second greatest heel turn of all time, kicking Marty Jannetty through the barbershop
Absolutely.
window.
First of all, Marty Jannetty tried to run away. He tried to run through that glass.
But I can't I can't deny his greatness. Him at WrestleMania 12 when he ziplined down.
Oh yeah,
Like,
the all white, white
Yeah,
and gold
man.
on.
Just
The boyhood
again,
dream.
when he won his first Rumble, I was so upset because again, I was a face guy, so I wanted Davey Boy Smith to win so bad. Then when he threw him over and he was hanging,
Yep.
and then then he came
Skin
up
the cat.
and then came and knocked him
Oh,
off.
the 1 foot on the ground that he like twisted and got back up in.
But yeah, I just love HBK and like you can't deny his greatness. You just can't, just.
It's hilarious. So you had him at 6.
Yes.
You got him at 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have him at 4.
Yeah. But yeah, just like all his WrestleMania matches, whether if it's Undertaker or Kurt Angle or Jericho, they're all great.
Amazing.
They're all great.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
I agree.
my number 5, I got Sting. I know we already spoke about Sting, but
You got him that high. Wow.
Sting
Sting is incredible.
Sting for me growing up was from remember WCW versus NWO Revenge, the video games. I always pick Sting.
Over there.
Always pick
Always
Sting.
pick Sting too.
Always pick Sting.
I didn't always pick Sting. I had 3 people I picked. Picked Sting.
Yeah.
Picked Rey Mysterio. I picked Ultimo Dragon.
And they all were the same size, by the way.
They all fought like
they were
this.
all
That was
same
their
size.
stance.
But so I think my first ever wrestling action figure was Sting with the red face paint, the leather coat
Wolfpack.
and the bat.
Wolfpack Sting.
Everything about when Sting first was in the ring and he took off the mask and it was a mask of Sting and then he was Sting under it. It was so stupid, but I was like, I loved everything about Sting.
Right.
Like to me, he was like my John Cena, like the way kids feel about John Cena. Like,
Yeah.
So that's why he's so high on my list.
And then watching him take out like 20 men at one time was great.
Right. Yeah. But now, granted, I did say he should be moving up a spot. Everyone should have been moved up, and Kurt Angle should have been my 5.
Good.
But I had already mentioned Kurt Angle. So,
Yeah. Okay. My number 5, Bryan Danielson.
Excellent wrestler.
Bryan Danielson does everything that pretty much every other wrestler that I put on my list so far can do, and does it even better for the most part.
I'm going to tell you why he didn't make my top 10. He drives a Prius, and I hate Prius drivers. They are the worst drivers in the world, and that's more than enough reason for me to leave him off my top 10.
His wrestling career?
Because he drives a Prius. I hate Prius drivers. I don't wish anything bad on any group of people except for Prius drivers.
That makes sense.
You know what? I hope your dad buys your daughter a Prius now.
They always driving slow in the fast lane. Like, move over.
Yeah, that's annoying.
But like, anyway, great in the ring.
Amazing.
One of the best technical wrestlers.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Very entertaining on the mic.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Like everyone used to try to say, oh, he didn't have charisma. I'm sorry.
That yes movement was unbelievable.
The yes movement, the team hell no,
Yeah.
that stuff was hilarious.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Him and Kane in group therapy with Scorpio Sky as Harold was absolutely hilarious.
This is why, because of people like him, is why this list was so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I felt bad leaving guys. Like, that's why he was in my honorable mentions. I'm like, but he deserves to be on the list. So I can't argue with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Bryan Danielson is fantastic in the ring. He can work a great match with just about anyone.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I personally just liked him more than HBK. That's why he's above HBK in my mind.
That's who trained Bryan Danielson too.
And don't forget William Regal.
And another great.
William Regal also helped him wrestle.
We ain't put him in honorable mention.
If we were going technical wrestlers,
Yeah,
he
okay,
would be.
yeah.
But overall package, William Regal, I don't think he's an honorable mention. I love William Regal. Great wrestler, great character. He's funny. He can be funny when he wants to be. But
You think that kiss my ass shit ruined his career?
I wouldn't say it ruined his career. I would say his
Vince was
personal,
a weirdo.
Well,
and
absolutely.
Well, yeah, but his personal issues ruined his career as well. Because he was getting a great push later in his WWE run. He won the King of the Ring.
Yeah.
He was supposed to get a good big push, but then he tested
up
positive
again.
for something.
Yeah, that's right.
He was one of the first wrestlers I truly hated.
In WCW when he was Steven Regal?
No, in WWE, like
Okay.
truly hate. Like I did not want to see him win. Like I said, I was still young.
Yeah.
But him pulling out the brass knuckles.
Oh,
I'm
that
like,
was great.
He's such a cheater.
Yeah.
It was still real to me at that time.
Yeah,
So,
right. I got you. Yeah.
I truly hated him.
I loved William Regal.
So, he's amazing.
And I love when he went off on Triple H when he's making fun of Eugene. Like, you know, I am a villain, but I will pull every little bit of villain I got in me to take you down. I'm like, I love it. I love it. But yeah, Brian Danielson. Did everyone get 5s?
Yeah, we did our
for
first.
the HBK 5.
Okay, so we have 4.
Yes,
I'll just start it off since I already said it. My 4 is Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
You know, 2-time Hall of Famer, DX. You know, he's won Pro Wrestling Illustrated's Match of the Year 11 times.
Oh, wow.
11 times he's had Match of the Year.
Man.
That's crazy.
That's wild. That is wild.
That's how good he was.
And the Rockers was a great tag team, too.
They were solid.
They were, but
they were solid. They were great. I think they were great, but
you could tell he was
he was
worlds
the
above him.
Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah,
he was,
absolutely.
He was
Yeah,
more
like
talented.
yeah,
So,
absolutely, without a doubt.
you know, but you know, we spoke on him, and you know, we didn't mention the ladder match between him and Razor Ramon.
at WrestleMania 10.
Amazing match.
Amazing match.
You know, just you know, his matches with the Undertaker, him crying before he Sweet Chin Music Ric Flair
Flair.
and saying like, I'm sorry,
I
like,
love you.
Dude,
such a great moment.
absolutely, you know, him showing up, you know, him and the rest of DX invading WCW.
Yeah.
Like, I love Shawn Michaels, and you know, there's no way he could not make my top
Absolutely.
5.
Nothing wrong with that. So that was your 4, right?
Yeah, it's my 4.
I got Stone Cold at 4.
4. Okay.
Yeah, because one, he was a really good worker.
Amazing.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. Everyone just ignored him for the stunner, the stomp, and then when he jumped on top, you
The
can just
Luthez press with the punch.
yeah,
That's right,
so,
man.
but
no, he's a really good worker.
good worker, great talker. The what shit was hilarious. What? But there was one Raw where they had him wrestle Benoit, and he like out wrestled Benoit so bad. It was like, but it was obviously the story. But that's the first time I really could realize like, wow, Austin really can work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I know like I didn't really watch him in WCW, but I know like when he did the Hollywood Blondes, I know he really liked that tag team. But of course, you know Bischoff scrapped it and whatever. But
I'm interested to see who your top 3 are with Austin not making the top 3.
okay.
So.
We'll get there. It's coming.
Yeah,
up,
I know.
But,
So.
but yeah, just you know, when you watch Attitude Era, you tuned in for Austin.
Yeah.
You know, like even when he went heel at 17, was that when he went heel? WrestleMania 17.
I don't remember exactly which WrestleMania was.
That's when
but
like the whole what
yeah.
thing started, and then he was with Vince, and he was getting sick.
He's part of the Authority.
Deborah's cookies. He got sick of it, you know, and then he would just be belittling Taz and Sean Stasiak. And
that's when Kurt Angle hit them with the milk truck.
yeah,
yeah.
$1 million Princess, a Dairy Queen.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, that's my number 4 though. So
Yeah. My number 4 is AJ Styles.
Oh, you know what? Yes.
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 AJ Styles is, from top to bottom in my mind, he is the second best in-ring worker, period.
Who you have was 1?
You'll see
You get
later.
to that later? Okay. All right. Well, you know,
He's
I'm not-
the second best in-ring worker, period, in my mind. He was okay as a character in TNA, but when he came to WWE, his character work took off.
completely.
When he was the little cocky little character and stuff, and everyone kept making fun of his Karen hair, he was incredible. His feud with Samoa Joe was absolutely incredible. AJ Styles is a monster, and he deserves his flowers.
that's fair.
I agree 100% with you, and I really don't.
That's how I feel about Steamboat. So yeah, I got you.
So I wanted to let's see. So AJ Styles has been good since I was in high school.
AJ Styles first started wrestling in WCW in 2001,
When it was basically at the
Right.
end.
right before they died.
Right.
That's
then.
that. I was in middle school. My 5-year-old's favorite wrestler today is AJ Styles.
AJ Styles.
That's how long he's been good.
Yes.
That's crazy
He's not
to think
he's
about.
not called phenomenal for no reason. That man is great.
Sire loves him.
AJ Styles is incredible.
Yeah, that when he showed up in WWE,
Oh,
it was at that
blew
point.
my mind. That debut at the Royal Rumble, they blew the camera work on it,
yeah,
but it was great because they released a different angle on YouTube where they showed the Titantron where it says "I am," and then Phenomenal shows up, and everyone lost their shit. And you were at my house when he debuted, and we're sitting there like, "Yo, who is this? I don't know who this is. I don't know this music."
And when I remember it saying "Phenomenal," we were like,
"No, we didn't." It didn't show us. We didn't see that.
It said it. Well, he was out. He was already out by the time it said it.
Yeah, it didn't show that angle. We heard everyone lose their shit. They were showing Roman Reigns' face, and everyone's losing their shit, and we're like, "What? What is it?" And then they showed him walking out, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Motherfucker, it's AJ Styles."
And he flipped the hood. I remember going into. I thought that was the death of every company outside of WWE. I was like, this is it. No one can compete with them anymore. I was like, this is it. I was like, they have AJ Styles.
AJ Styles is incredible, and his run was good. I still feel he deserves a couple more world title runs there, but they gave him at least one, which is better than how they treated Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
I said, so now that you said it, that is another person that, again, at least should have been in my honorable mentions.
Exactly.
That's good.
AJ Styles is that good.
Yeah. So
when The Undertaker literally said, "Hey, I'm trying to have my last match. Who should I work with?" And everyone's like, AJ Styles.
Yeah.
It's 100% who you should work with.
Yeah.
And that little cinematic match that they had was good.
Right.
And AJ Styles was all smug and it was great. And I loved it. AJ Styles is by far one of the best wrestlers ever. He is my second best in-ring performer of all time.
No arguments. So, what was that? That was 4?
That was 4.
Yeah, now we're on 3.
We're on 3. I'll start it off. I got The Rock. The Rock's number 3. You can't even mention professional wrestling without The Rock being brought up.
Yes.
Like his ring work is solid. He's good. He's way more athletic than people give him credit for. Like, you got to remember when he first came, his finisher was that Maivia Hurricane, that float over DDT.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's 6'5".
Right.
That's not easy.
He played defensive end for Miami U.
He was D-tackle.
D-tackle. Oh, was he D-tackle?
He was a D-tackle.
That's even more impressive.
Warren Sapp took his spot.
Wow.
Warren Sapp came onto the roster and took his spot as D-tackle.
He makes me want to work out.
He does.
He really makes me want to work out.
Dude, I've been watching Ballers lately. he's so jacked.
Yeah.
But
he's huge.
His sliding people's elbow
with the shoes on.
Oh my! It's still one of my favorite wrestling
on Davey
moments.
Boy.
Oh yeah,
that's still one of my favorite.
great.
I caught his elbow pad as a kid.
Oh, you lucky bastard!
Yeah,
and you don't have it no more, do you?
No.
See, I never got to go to a wrestling event as a kid. I only went.
I was there when Mankind got pushed off the cage too.
I have so many friends.
Hell in the Cell. Yeah.
I have so many friends who's like, I was there, and I'm like, fuck.
I was up in the nosebleeds, but I seen it happen.
We had the cable box,
the chip box.
Yeah, the scrambler thing. Yeah, we had that. So I watched it on that.
Yeah.
Was it my turn for 3?
Yeah.
I got Macho Man at 3.
No argument.
Yeah,
I love Macho Man.
I love Macho Man.
Again, as a kid, you were taught to hate Macho Man. You know what I mean? It was
but
again,
I don't remember that.
When I was a kid, it was.
I remember loving it.
It was Hogan, blah blah blah. But again, but as I got older, I'm like, Macho Man was great.
Only time I was taught to
absolutely
hate Macho Man was when he, kind of hit Miss Elizabeth. Outside of that,
but yeah, I got him at 3. Just
great in-ring worker, great character,
great
great
promos,
great promo.
Yeah,
the elbow drop is iconic because of him.
Right. Oh yeah, and all his promos with Miss Elizabeth when he would tell her to shut up. He's like, I wasn't talking to you. Then you said something else. And you just between him and Mean Gene when they all do their little the little promos. That shit used to be hilarious.
He's the only reason I eat Slim Jims. Literally.
Yeah, put it on the map, man. No.
Now LA Knight is doing the commercials for him.
Right. But I know, like,
great character.
His WCW.
I said great character, Macho Man.
Like, his WCW run towards the end wasn't that great when they had Kevin Nash dump sewage on him and all that crap.
Yeah.
But still, I'll never, like, his match with Steamboat is fantastic.
Everyone talks about that match.
Even his match with Trash Ultimate Warrior was good. He carried the hell out of that match.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Just the mega powers, just all that stuff. Just even whenever he won at WrestleMania 4, he couldn't even really share the moment because who was there? Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Hogan's had to be in the middle of it.
Of course, Hogan
it
has
was
to
just
be.
like, bruh, go away.
Hogan's ego is outrageous.
But yeah, I got Macho Man at 3 for me. So.
All right.
Me?
Yeah.
I said my 3.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. The Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's your
All right. Well, on the other end, my number 3 is the Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I thought you were gonna say Jake the Snake. When that's something you said Rattlesnake. I forgot Stone Cold's middle name, nickname. I forgot.
No. I got Stone Cold, the only 3-time Royal Rumble winner. Mr. King of the Ring. Well, when he won King of the Ring, that's when he gave us the Stone Cold 316.
Austin 316.
Austin 316
says, I just whipped your ass.
Yeah, I remember.
Changed the world that night.
Iron Man match with Bret Hart.
I used to have the with the blood running down, blood running down his face.
Yep.
I used to have a poster of him on my wall, and then I had a Goldberg one right next to it. That said,
Who's
Goldberg? No. Was it Austin? It was 316, and then it was Goldberg 732. It was just saying that he was better than Austin.
That's just a weird poster though.
Yeah,
that's just weird.
Yeah.
It said who's next on it too, but
but
he wasn't better than Austin at all.
No.
But yeah, I mean, what more can you say about Austin? He to me, I feel he brought in the Attitude Era.
Of course.
I feel he was the catalyst that
I agree.
He made it cool to be the person that
fights against authority.
Boss. Yeah.
Fights against authority.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I was young, and he had us, giving people the middle finger and all types of
and
stuff.
wasn't he actually supposed to be a heel, but he got over so bad that
he was supposed to be a heel to Mr. McMahon, but one, people didn't like Vince because of the whole Montreal school job.
Right.
And two, just during that era of time, it was a very fight against the machine type thing going on in the country. So it just resonated that, no, we're fighting against the authority type thing. And it just took off from there.
I seen somewhere where somebody told him, like, you'll never get over just wearing black boots and black knee pads and black, trunks. Right. Like, it'll never happen. And he was like, all right. And obviously it did. Like, what I mean?
Yeah,
the head shake, everything, the stunner is one of my all-time favorite finishers. Like, it's not even that it's just great. It's just, it was iconic.
Yeah, it was just
you know what I mean? So
for sure.
All right. And I'll go right into my number 2. My number 2 is, and these are reversed for me. To me, they're 1 and 2. 1A, 1, 2. I mean, I'm sorry, 2A.
You mean 1A, 1B?
1A, 1B. I can't talk today. Yeah. But it is The Rock. When it comes to the Attitude Era, I feel like you can't mention Stone Cold without mentioning The Rock. But I was one of the people who I preferred The Rock.
I like The Rock better, but I also recognize that Stone Cold was the bigger star, so to speak.
I can agree with that, but Rock also did more after Stone Cold.
Agreed.
So that's why I have The Rock a little higher. I felt since he kept going, and to me, he's always been entertaining. Like, I always wanted to be like The Rock. I didn't want to be like Stone Cold for obvious reasons. But to me, I just always preferred The Rock.
I did too.
So that's why I have The Rock higher. Like, he's my. And, the fact that I didn't have him at number 1 even perplexed Jazz. And I was like, he's never been my favorite wrestler. There's always been one person higher. But, So
I know who your number 1 is.
Do you though?
Yeah, I think we got the same number one.
I don't
But
think
anyway,
we do. But go ahead.
My number 2 is Steve. Like everything you said, literally, and honestly, from what you just said, I'm kind of tempted to switch my 3 and 2 around and make the Rock
So
number.
you have them 3 and 2, and I have them 2 and 3.
Yeah,
That's
so-
they're right there.
So I'm thinking about switching the Rock and Stone Cold around because you're right. I always did like Rock better. But for right now, I'll just leave it as it is.
Yeah.
I got Steve Austin as 2. I just felt he was the bigger star as far as wrestling goes.
Mm-hmm.
But you are right. The Rock's done more later. No, fuck it. The Rock's 2. Stone Cold's 3.
So I think if we're just talking just strictly wrestling, I would agree. Steve is the bigger star. But The Rock transcended wrestling.
The Rock
obviously, to where
transcended
he
wrestling,
is-
but
he is
also,
now.
like you said, he's come back and done more.
Yeah.
The final boss Rock from this past year was fantastic.
I love his music and everything.
His music was great. His Instagram promos were top tier. He
Man,
was doing.
he loved the F-bomb.
Oh yeah, he was going off on Instagram before shows, and they were fantastic. I will never forget when he said, "Off is the direction in which you can fuck." I'm like, that is the most creative way to say "fuck off" I've ever heard in my life, but it was great. Off is the direction which you can fuck.
I
It was
loved
great.
everything.
The final boss was great.
Growing up, like I said earlier, if The Rock said something, I was repeating it later. I used to raise my eyebrow. I always wanted to be like The Rock.
I could never do the eyebrow. I always had to go like this. I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, he's definitely my 2.
Yeah, I'm switching them around. He's my 2 now.
My number 2 is Pittsburgh's own Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah, he's yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
It's great wrestling. It's a great
The
wrestler.
WrestleMania 19 match with Brock Lesnar was unbelievable.
Great match with a broken freaking
Remember
neck.
he almost killed Shane?
Yeah,
Trying to throw him through the
Hell in a-
glass?
uh,
That was King of the
King
Ring.
of the
wasn't it?
Ring.
Yep,
King of the
King of the
Ring.
Ring. Yep.
King of the Ring.
Like it's just, I can't argue it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, he should at least be my 5. Kurt Angle's so good, man.
Yeah.
So good.
So good.
So good.
And, and his freestyle with John Cena was great.
Oh my god. No.
And he put that broken neck freestyle in there too, like you said.
I want a
But
gold medal with a
broken freaking neck.
No, yeah, I love Kurt Angle, man.
Yeah.
So
One of my favorite moves with Angle, other than the Angle Slam, was when they be on the rope and he would run up, catch him, and do the belly.
The suplex
Suplex.
off the top
Yeah,
rope, run
man.
up the rope.
mhm.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like creative as hell. Just-
Great.
So
I'm not gonna have much of an argument with that there.
all right, did we all do our 2s?
That was all.
Yeah.
Now we're on
Who
one
wants
now.
to kick off their 1?
I'll kick it off. My number 1 is Pittsburgh's own Kurt Angle.
They're good.
All
I knew
right.
Kurt was on your list. He's like, no,
I said
I feel like Kurt should be on every list. That's why I'm like, when I looked at it, I was like, no, Kurt should be here.
AJ Styles was the second best worker in the overall worker in the history of wrestling. Kurt Angle's number 1.
I agree.
It doesn't matter what type of match you want to do, he can do it. The man was doing 450 splashes. The man can
Moonsault.
Moonsault, 450 splashes. Shooting star presses. He did those. You want to work hardcore matches? He did those. You want to do technical? Obviously, he can do that. The man can do any type of match with anybody. His TNA run is so underrated. It was freaking phenomenal. Even while he was battling demons.
He was the reason I watched TA. Him,
Yes.
obviously AJ and Samoa Joe.
Yes.
Like,
His feud with Samoa Joe and TNA was absolutely fantastic. His character work. He was a great character.
absolutely.
From day one. He showed up. You're like, who is this goofy milk and cookies dude? And then he's sitting there talking like, I drink my cookies and I'm all about the 3 I's: intensity, integrity, and intelligence. Like,
Yep.
Yep.
he was the goofy guy. He could do anything. He can make you laugh, but he can also believe that he will tear your head off. When he became mouth guard Kurt, you're like, hey, all right, he's in Olympic mode. He's gonna hurt you.
Yeah, he was the first. He was like the first heel actually. Like he's the reason I started liking heels because when he first came over, when he first started in WWE, he was a heel.
Yeah,
And that's when Stephanie was all like, "Oh, I was helping him win matches and all that crap." And I was like, I'm starting. And I was like, okay, I like Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle was
liking heels after that.
Yeah, Kurt Angle was a top tier in pretty much everything.
Absolutely.
There's nothing you can say that he couldn't do.
Absolutely.
Nothing.
Yeah.
He had incredible matches with everybody. His match with Brock, like you said, like the matches he had with Eddie Guerrero were great.
Yes, they was.
The feud he had with Edge was great.
Yep.
Like it was all great. Kurt Angle, in my opinion, is the complete package of a wrestler.
I would
there
agree.
is nothing that he couldn't do.
I agree 100% with you. What's that? Who's your number one, Tim?
We got the same number one, dog. You know, just said the Nature Boy.
I'm talking about the Rolex wearing.
That's right.
Diamond ring wearing. Kiss stealing. Woo! Willie Dillon.
I gotta give
Son of a gun.
I gotta give it to Flair for number one. Again,
Yes,
as
sir.
As a kid, I hated him, but he was who he was. He wasn't for kids. He was for who he was, and just
When the WWE Network first came out, I went back and watched a lot of like
the Dusty
old
Rhodes
stuff.
NWA stuff.
This man was holding hour long matches every night like it was nothing.
Yeah. Don't get me
And he
wrong,
never
was
got
good.
boring. He was that good.
The Four Horsemen stable, just
5 times he won match of the year, Pro Illustrated. 4 times he had the feud of the year. The man is 16 world championships. The Nature Boy, man. He is. I always wanted one of them robes, but I know I can't afford it.
yeah. I feel you on that one, bro. I feel you on that one.
Like,
Literally, I can't disagree with anything you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just I like the people I put above him more than him. That's literally all it is. I liked those people more than I liked Flair.
I'm surprised we agreed on number one. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think one of the very first matches I watched with Ric Flair was I watched with my dad. It was a Bash at the. It was a great. The one where Sting beat him with the small package. I was young as hell. It was like 1989 or 1990. I can't. It was the one where Flair let him get over on him. It was the Surfer Sting. I can't think if it was Starrcade 1990 or Bash at the Beach.
That early it had to be like Starrcade, because Bash at the Beach and stuff was
A little
later.
Yeah, so it was
that was more
Starrcade.
during the Attitude Era, type,
Yeah.
the Monday Night Wars.
Like that was
type.
one of the first times I ever really seen Flair wrestle.
Yeah.
He was already in his 40s by then.
Yeah, that's
40s
what's
by
crazy.
then, so like,
and literally had to change his entire style because he broke his back
Yeah.
in a plane crash.
is that why he always, when they flip him, he always fall on his one side all the time?
Probably.
Because every time they do like a like a drop where he always falls on his right side. And
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
To me, even in his 50s,
when he's
there was no reason for him to still be that good.
I agree.
Even
And
the
that's
match with
why-
Undertaker.
Yep, that's why he's my number one. I'm like, this dude, legacy, like you said, there was no reason. He'd be like 55.
Yeah.
There was no reason for him to still be that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, to me, when I think of pro wrestling, I know there's people that will think of Hulk Hogan. Screw you.
Screw you.
I think of Ric Flair.
Well, I can't blame them for thinking of Hulk Hogan because
I
he was
can't.
pushed in our face.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Now, I will still say screw Hulk. I'm not going to say screw the person because that's just what they're shown. You associate with whatever you see. That doesn't mean he's good. Fuck Hulk Hogan.
Well, these are facts, which I said already earlier.
But yeah, like I'm not mad at y'all having Flair at number one. I just like the people I put
That's
better.
fine.
Diamonds are forever, and so is Ric Flair.
I'm surprised no one put Dusty Rhodes like in an honorable mention or anything, or because his matches with Flair were great.
So I didn't really get to watch too much.
Yeah, see,
Dusty
that's my
to be
thing.
fair.
They're
Like,
same.
Flair wrestled so long that I was
Yeah.
able to catch him.
Yeah, that's what.
Right.
The best of Dusty Rhodes was when I was a toddler or not born.
Not even here, yeah, same.
Yeah, and then
Vince had them in the fucking polka dots and shit. And,
Yeah, with Sapphire. Yeah.
No.
That's also why I don't have like Bruno Sammartino up there.
Yeah.
I know they're
never
great.
seen a Bruno match.
Yeah, I know you're great wrestlers, and I'm not trying to diminish anything they've accomplished. But I didn't get to watch them.
We didn't watch them, so that's good.
I can't speculate on what I haven't seen.
Right.
All right. So that's it for the wrestling, John. Then
That's my top 10.
Absolutely.
So y'all are okay with me cheating and picking a New Day?
I'm okay with it, man.
I thought I was gonna get an argument because it's 3 people.
I thought we were gonna do a tag team one eventually, but fuck it, whatever.
We got to do. Are we doing this? Do y'all consider a stable a tag team?
Well,
It-
if there's
it
a tag
depends.
team in there, yeah.
It depends.
Okay.
Like the NWO is a stable; they're not a tag team.
Right.
Well,
The
about
New
outside-
Day-
Well, hold the outsiders.
The Outsiders were a tag team, not
Yes.
the NWO.
This is true.
So if we were doing tag teams, I wouldn't mention the NWO,
Right.
but I might mention the Outsiders.
Right.
Okay.
It's like DX wasn't a tag
DX
team,
was
but
not
the
a
Road
tag
Dogs
team.
were.
New Age
I mean,
Outlaws.
New Age Outlaws.
The
Sorry,
New Age Outlaws.
I said
were.
Road Dog. Jesus,
Yeah.
that's one person.
That's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
the New Day, they like the Freebirds. Where even though there was more than 2 of them, they the Freebird world.
Yeah.
So they shared it. So yeah, I'll consider the New Day a tag team
Okay,
because they often would mix it up and still only have tag team matches.
Got you.
Surprisingly, we really didn't fully disagree with anyone except for Tim having Hogan on there.
Yeah, that's literally the only thing.
Hey, I
we
took them off.
wholeheartedly.
I just feel
disagreed on.
there's so many great wrestlers
Oh yeah.
that you could have had a completely different list than me, and I'd have been like, sure.
I get it.
Yeah, we had a lot of
Yeah,
the
like-
same stuff. It was just different plays. Like you said,
Yeah.
the Hogan thing.
I want to go over some people that I didn't even mention that could possibly be on this list. Triple H.
Triple H is one of my favorite, and I didn't like. I never, but I know he doesn't belong with these people. That
But
I
I'm like,
put in.
these are all people that could have been mentioned.
Yeah.
Ultimo Dragon,
Great
He
wrestler,
was great, but I'm
incredible.
Yeah, I'm not-
but his personality, though,
That's
like,
literally the reason I
Yeah.
didn't put him on there.
Shame on me though. I thought he was Mexican all this time until about 2 years ago.
He's Japanese.
I didn't. I was like, wait, what? He's Japanese? Yeah, shut up.
no. This is news to me.
What, you too? I thought he was Mexican.
thought he was
Mexican. Yeah, 'cause Derek was like, bro,
Acai.
he's Mexican. He's Japanese.
The
I was like,
Acai
what?
Moonsault was
Yeah.
named after him.
Bro, I thought he was.
I just know acai is a berry.
But like the Usos,
Great.
the Dudley Boys,
See, I feel like when I
the
do,
Road Warriors.
see,
These are all people that I could have easily put on my list.
and that's why I feel just like I said with the women, I would keep tag teams
Yeah.
separate.
If I
Because
separate out the tag team, if we were to do a top tag team list, in my opinion, I think we're all going to have almost all the same tag teams with exception of like 2, and just the placements will be different.
yeah,
I agree.
because the Usos are going to be very high on my list,
Usos are high on my list.
and it's because of everything they became after. Like once they start, and this is going to sound bad, once they start wearing Air Forces.
yeah, once
That's when they took, because when they were coming out and they was doing the hot gun and all that, I was just like,
yeah,
that's
that's cool.
okay.
but as soon as they allowed them to start having some character,
And day one, once they started that, I'm like, this team is great.
the
You know.
the feud between them and the New Day pushed them both to unprecedented highs.
Mhm.
Right.
It's the same thing that happened with Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
That feud, because the Dudley Boys was kind of a little more established
Mm-hmm.
than the
Yeah.
Hardys and Edge and Christian, but that feud just pushed them up to a whole nother level. If we did top 10 tag teams, I can guarantee Usos, Road Warriors, Steiners,
Oh yes.
all of them will be in there. I literally think there will be 1 or 2 tag teams that, like, one of you would include the
But Rock and Roll Express or something.
Rock and Roll Express
I
or
just threw it.
the Outsiders, where we would be like, yeah, no, I want to go.
What about the Nasty Boys?
No,
Oh, God, it's like,
No. Just no.
No.
It's just like, no.
no. But I just, while there are very good tag teams, I just think the top tag teams are pretty much cemented.
Mm-hmm.
There's just one that I know you would put in your list that I wouldn't put in mine.
you me?
Yes.
What?
The Steiners.
Yes.
They're not in top 10 for me.
They would not be in
Yes.
mine either. They wouldn't be
And
in mine.
do you know why? Because no one really cared about the Steiners until Scott broke off on his own.
That
That's
math
fair, but-
promo is still one of the best promos of all time.
Was it Maple Muscle Leaf guy? P.D. Williams?
Petey Williams, he's a guy who doesn't get his flowers. Petey Williams is great.
But
He
no, I
created
loved
the
it. I
Canadian
loved it.
Destroyer.
No, he didn't.
He did?
He's the one who used it.
He
didn't
popularized
create-
it then.
No, the guy who created it taught it to Petey,
What's I said? He
Lance
popularized it then.
but he didn't use it himself. Scott D'Amore.
Okay.
Oh,
He was just a promoter.
yeah.
He created the Canadian Destroyer, and he taught it to Petey Williams and told Petey to use it.
You really gonna have the Steiners in the top 10?
No,
It wouldn't be in my
No.
top 10 either.
No.
Oh, man.
no, no. Their run as a their run as a tag team was so limited in my mind from what I've seen. Because there was an era where before I started watching.
Right.
So I can't include that because I wasn't watching. But the time they were run, the little bit that they were in WWE before they left for WCW was real tiny. And then when they went to WCW, they only tagged for a little bit there, and then Scott broke off on
Well, they
his
did
own.
it for like a year or two, then they
and then Scott broke off on his own and joined the NWO.
I would put Harlem Heat over them.
I would too.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
No, I
Yes.
can't do
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
No, I can't.
I would put Harlem Heat over them. I'm putting FTR over them.
No,
I'm putting
that's not fair because you said
FTR is great.
Yeah, Harlem Heat, I guess, had a bigger impact for sure, but
Motor City Machine Guns.
they could be
But,
they could be
you say
debated.
no?
no.
I don't know if he's ever seen the Motor City Machine Gun.
Do you know how good how long they've been good?
I'm not putting them over the Steiners. No.
Their run is longer than Scott Steiner's career.
No. They don't got no math promo.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
But that was Scott.
No,
that
no,
wasn't
I'm
the
just saying,
stat.
I'm just saying, dumbass.
I put DIY over them. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, that's what I'm talking
No,
about. Like,
man.
the
Y'all
Steiners-
are disrespecting the Steiners right
I'm not
now.
disrespecting
Man.
the Steiners.
I am.
The Steiners are good. They're just not top 10.
Man.
They're just not top 10.
I hated that they wore the wrestling headgear.
Oh, that was great.
They didn't do it for me.
I will give them bonus points because they went to Michigan.
Oh,
Okay, but who's in the championship?
oh man. All right.
Who was in it last year?
You're living in the past. I'm talking about today.
All right. So we're gonna go to the next topic now. We'll be on
Yeah.
that for a long time. Too.
Right. All right. Marvel is after Marvel came out and said they would not recast T'Challa after the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman. They have decided now, 4 years later, I think it's been, that they will go ahead and recast him for future projects. How do you guys feel about it?
Unfortunately, the show must go on. Unfortunately, but I mean, I'm open to it. You know what I mean? The way that Black Panther 2, because I just watched it actually for the first time literally 5 days ago. So because I didn't want to watch it yet because I was like I don't think I'm ready to watch it, but I did watch it. But the way it ended, we know they have a child. Now the question is, if they do make a third one or whatever, is it going to be 10, 15 years down the road? Because the kid has to be 5 or 6
Yeah.
at the end of those credits or whatever like that. But I am definitely open to it. But I don't know what the hell they're doing in this.
So I think he may be for the future, as they're building up the future roles.
Yeah.
But you're playing with the multiverse. Why not just go that route? It's a multiverse,
You're right.
a Black Panther from a different, universe or whatever. So speaking of Black Panther, I seen it in the theaters, and I would say the beginning of that movie legit had me in tears in the theaters. So it was hard to watch.
Yeah.
And there was a scene in the movie, and it still gets to me, because that was the same year my mom passed, and it was when Shuri said, You've been given everything to save everyone else, but you couldn't save the person you love.
Yeah, that's powerful.
And as a person who it is literally my job to go in people's houses to save people,
Right.
and I couldn't do anything for my mom, that tore me up. And I think even in the theater, Jazz was like, she looked at me and she was like, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "I know that hit you hard." And I was like, "It did." So I didn't hate Black Panther 2 the way a lot of people did.
People hated it?
So how do I say, weirdos did, because they don't want to see women superheroes.
Yeah.
Them people.
And you know, we all know someone on Facebook who I could be talking about, who every chance he gets to down women, he gets a chance.
Oh, we know that.
I don't need to say any names, but I know for sure him and one of his little weird friends was arguing with me because they hated it, and they're like, "Oh, she shouldn't be Black Panther," and it's like, shut
Have
up.
you read the comic book? Shuri was Black Panther.
Yeah, so I did enjoy the movie. It hit a little bit different for me. But I thought it was real respectful when they was like, "Hey, we're not going to, recast him." So I think if a way out of that is the multiverse theory, like, hey, he's still our Black Panther, but now we have this one from a different universe, and here's how he got here. I mean, you got Doctor Strange, you got Spider-Man messing up everything. You can do tons of different ways to do it. But what do you think, Lee?
I'm torn. Because one, the multiverse thing just hasn't worked. I'm sorry. It works in comic books. It has not worked in film. It's just been bad, in my opinion. It's been pretty much all bad for the most part, this whole multiverse thing. Opening up that can of worms just creates storytelling problems that just cannot be fixed in film. So, on that part, that takes out that option for me of recasting T'Challa.
So,
because I don't want it to be a multiverse thing.
Here's my only pushback. You said it doesn't work in film. Have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No, I haven't.
You should
I've
watch
heard
it.
it was great. I'm talking about as far as the MCU goes.
Okay.
I'm limiting to the MCU.
But I was about to say, it can be done right.
But
it just needs to be done right.
It hasn't been done
right. Yeah.
Because
for the MCU, yes.
Yeah, for the MCU, the multiverse thing just hasn't been done right because it creates too many paradoxes. The time travel, the multiverse thing, it creates paradoxes that you're just like, well, why didn't you just stop this from the jump or whatever?
So, for instance, Eternals, there's a giant sentinel
and no one's
talking about it.
No one's talking about it. It wasn't a sentinel, it's a celestial.
Celestial, there you go. It's just sticking out of the ground.
In the Indian Ocean. And
no one's talking about it.
No one's talking about it. Yeah. Well, partly because that movie was terrible.
Absolutely.
So that part of it, I don't want him to be a, alternate universe T'Challa. But if they would have done it before Black Panther 2, I wouldn't have been opposed to it. If you honor him, and you find a way to honor Chadwick Boseman in some way, shape, or form,
right?
But recast him. But since they've had this movie where the whole point of it was letting go of T'Challa to bring him back, just tarnishes that honoring.
Well, and that's the only reason I feel that you can kind of get away with the multiverse theory of why this guy is here now. Or even if they be like, well, you know what? He's not our T'Challa. He's T'Challa Jr.
Right.
Which is with Tim's theory, but then you have to age everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I again, and for me to say it should be a multiverse way, and I'm a person who I'm kind of sick of the multiverse. I even watched I watched the DC ones, the
Flashpoint.
Yeah, there's 3 of them, right? Or whatever one. I think it's or Paradox or something like that.
The Flashpoint Paradox.
Yeah. I watched like the first 2 and they were like an hour and a half a piece, and I was like, I'm sick of the multiverse. And so I haven't even watched the third one. Although they were good. But it's to me. I feel like that's the only way they could kind of explain it without being. Like,
Oh yeah, that's how they're going to
fully.
That's
like,
probably going to.
Yeah, we just got rid of him, and
Yeah, that's probably
and
how
why
they're
he
going to
looks
explain
different.
it. That's probably going to be how they explain it. It's going
Yeah.
to be someone from a different universe. But I'm just like unfortunately, Deadpool said it best. It's been miss after miss after miss. And I don't want to see that happen to Black Panther.
Right.
I mean, are you okay if they would just let Shuri just keep staying as the Black Panther and all this?
I would absolutely be okay.
Okay
with
with
that.
that?
I'd be
Just
fine
go
with
that
that.
direction too.
I'd be
But
fine with that.
But
There's
here's
so many stories that can be told.
my thing. You don't have to ruin Black Panther by doing that. You can do it in the next Doctor Strange and then introduce him that way, and then he could just be the Black Panther. And that way, the Black Panther movie ain't ruined the Doctor Strange movie is. Yeah, obviously, I'm joking, but
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. So I actually sat down and I thought of a few people who I think should replace him.
Okay.
So my first is Aldous Hodge.
Yeah, that's the one everyone brings up. And
Aldous Hodge.
yes.
So if you
And
don't
I'm
know,
not opposed to it.
if you don't know who he is, if you watch and I know many people didn't, but if you watch the Black Adam movie, he played.
He was
Hawkman.
Hawkman.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's an excellent actor. I think he looks the part,
I agree.
and I think he would be a great Black Panther.
I agree.
Another person I think is Elon Noel. Now,
I don't know who that is.
did y'all watch the first Purge?
No.
I didn't watch those movies.
Okay, so then y'all wouldn't, like my wife watches Insecure and he's on there.
Okay.
But
Pulling them up.
Elon Noel, it's why.
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah. Him.
It's not a bad casting at all.
And I mean, he's kind of bulky, so he can play the role.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to think of guys who are like, you know what I mean? Like, I want someone who looks like, that guy could be a king, or I could respect
Right.
him, you
Warrior
know what I mean?
king,
A
yeah.
warrior king, yeah. So,
So, quick question. I mean, has there been another Black Panther besides Shuri and T'Challa? Has there been another Black Panther?
Yeah,
well,
after
long
Shuri,
lineup.
yeah, not
There's a
like
long
not,
lineup.
okay.
Well, depends on what you mean. Because
like after Shuri.
after Shuri, I mean, from what I know of in the comics, they only really cover T'Challa and Shuri.
no, they
there's
also
before-
there's a Killmonger took up the mantle in the comics.
Okay.
I mean, the current run of Black Panther is still T'Challa, but he's way more powerful than. But
Oh,
it's normally
It's normally T'Challa.
yeah, it's normally T'Challa.
Now,
I
there
mean,
were
there's
tons before because it's a title that's passed down from king to king. So there's definitely been tons.
But I mean, when it comes to comics, it's just however the person writes it. You know, what I mean?
I just don't. I'm not interested in T'Challa. You can bring in somebody else. I wouldn't mind if they did a movie. Like, I heard there was a rumor of it that they were going to cover the first Black Panther. The very first
one.
Whoever, the very first one who took the heart-shaped herb for the very first time,
Right.
and became the Black Panther. They were going to do a movie about him.
If I remember correctly, he didn't even have like a full suit. It was just like
No,
he
he wore,
skinned
like-
a panther,
yeah.
and it was like
Yeah. I would be interested in that, where you can have that guy, and it's not T'Challa, and you're still honoring things and
Right.
shows a history, and you can have any of those guys like Hodge or Noel, like you mentioned. Also, wouldn't mind seeing someone who I feel deserves to get a little respect, but he's too old to be a T'Challa.
Denzel?
No.
He's that older, so I just.
Yeah, I'm about to say, come on, bro.
No. Michael Jai White. Michael Jai White can be due to his current age, I believe he's in his 50s. He can be an older Black Panther.
He'd be a good villain for the movie.
That's what I was thinking.
He'd be a good villain.
I was thinking, yeah. But I'm not disagreeing with you. He's great.
He's great.
He'd be a great.
He's for as few big time movies that he's been in. let me rephrase that because I don't want to sound disrespectful to his career. He hasn't been cast in, A-list Hollywood movies. But he's
He's in a bunch of Tyler Perry movies.
Do you consider that A-list?
In the black community, yes.
I don't. I don't. Most of them don't even get theatrical releases.
That's why I said in the black community.
So if it doesn't get a theatrical release, it's not an A-list Hollywood movie.
Well, yeah, because Hollywood's white.
Well, yeah, you're right about that as well. But he's a good actor. Like people try to knock him like he can't act.
Yeah, like
he's a good actor.
He was a good villain in Exit Wounds.
He was a good villain in Exit Wounds.
Yeah, I think he'd be a great villain.
He did a good job as Tyson in the Tyson biopic flick that was made back in the 90s.
So did we not mention Spawn or?
Yeah, we went
that wasn't a good movie.
Yeah, but the acting wasn't really bad. It was just the movie was bad.
And I felt bad for him in the Tyler Perry movie. He got screwed.
Dealing with Sheila. Not Sheila.
No.
Not Sheila. What was her name?
Angela or something like that.
Yeah. I always call her Tasha. I don't know her real name.
I think her real name is
Is her
Tasha.
real name? Okay, maybe that's why I call her.
But she gave him the VD or whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
But
I got it from Greg.
Because he can be obviously he's athletically inclined enough to do fight scenes.
Mm-hmm.
We all know about if you don't know about his martial arts background, he's a black belt in, I believe, 7 different martial arts. Frequently and trains with MMA fighters right now just for funsies. So he can hold his own in a fight scene.
I'm in a minority here, but I liked him in Never Back Down.
Never Back Down. I know.
Not the original. It was
the
two.
remake, the second
was
one.
two.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just had to.
He was in 2 and 3.
Yeah, the third one was kind of meh. That was the one with Josh Barnett in it. I seen it.
Okay.
He directed that one. And that was his wife that was in that third one too. But
Didn't know that.
What about John Boyega as T'Challa? Or
So, yes.
you for it?
And yeah, so I like him.
I do too.
I really like John, and I know he isn't well received in Hollywood
yeah.
because he is black, and he
English
does
black.
not. Well, yeah, but he doesn't try to I guess gloss over the fact that he's
Right.
I guess pro-black.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I would love it. I don't mind it.
Real quick, I think I don't know if they're still. I'm sure there's another Star Wars trilogy coming, but they need to bring Samuel L. Jackson as the new Sith. Even though they technically killed him off in Episode 3, just say he survived and now he's angry, and he can be the new Sith. Let John Boyega be the new Vader, Kylo Ren, whatever you want him to be, the apprentice, and let's get something going with it. I am all open for it. Why not?
I've only
Why
watched
does
2
the black
Star
guy
Wars
got to be
movies.
the evil person?
There's never been a black evil person.
No, I'm just saying. Why do they got to be the evil ones? Why can't they?
Because I
be
think
the hero?
because they didn't do nothing with him when he when he was a good guy.
So
I would like to see John Boyega as a Sith and Samuel Jackson.
I've only watched 2 Star Wars movies, and they were the first ones. So,
but
I don't know.
But anyways, back to T'Challa. That was just look. I'm glad. So
T'Challa, I'm not opposed to it, but I just think
I was seeing people say Damson Idris, or that however you say his name, from Snowfall. I think he's way too little.
yeah, real skinny.
Yeah, I think he's way too little. I'm like, I don't see that. But I just think there's a way they can do it that it's going to be hard to fill the shoes of Chadwick. I mean, he was an amazing actor,
right?
So,
Absolutely.
And this Damson Idris guys does look a little small, but he can.
But even when we all pass away, you know what I mean? They're going to we're all going to, even like 50 years, 100 years down the road, they're going to recast everyone anyway.
Right.
So they're going to redo all this stuff. You know what I mean? So unfortunately,
I just think the mistake was coming out right away and was like, we're not going to do it. We're not going to, you know what I mean? But it's been almost, going on 5
It'll
years.
be 5 years this August.
I think, like I said, I think there's a way to do it respectfully to be
Yes.
like, well, we didn't recast this T'Challa. You know what I mean? We brought in a whole new one. Or,
like I was saying, I would have been less opposed to it if they would have just done it from the jump instead of
that's fair.
That's fair, yeah.
instead of saying we're not going to do it, have the writer rewrite the movie to basically have us mourn this character for never coming back.
Yeah.
Than to just bring them back. It seems like you're just doing this out of desperation more so than saying, hey, there's a story that needs to be told.
Okay.
Did you like Namor?
I thought he was all right.
He was all right.
Yeah, I thought he was all right. I think it was pretty cool that they, paid respects to his I guess Aztec heritage.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's Mexican, right?
Yeah,
Mexican
Mayan,
heritage.
yeah,
Yeah, I know.
Mayan.
Mayan here. Yeah. And I think it was well done.
Mm-hmm.
Could it have been better? Sure, but
But I'm sure with Chadwick dying, it kind of messed everything up.
Oh, 100%. You got to pivot and, so.
Try to make do with what you got
But,
and try to find something that kind of fits.
Right.
The way they showed where he lived was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that.
We had this talk a couple days ago. I said, there was no way they was going to get down there. Dude, there was no way like the government was going to get down there.
No.
Like everybody got crushed by the water and the hype, you know what I mean? And like Malik said, if you don't want nobody in your home, you defend it.
Yeah.
Right.
I said in that movie a long time ago, for a while, that his issue to be worried about, countries trying to come to his home in search of vibranium is valid. I'm not saying he's not allowed to be worried about that. But two things. One, like you said, that pressure down where they live, they can't get down there without being extremely slowed down because they'd have to wear some big old bulky suit that would protect them. Where all the people that live in that area can move way faster than them. So all they got to do is puncture a small little hole. Mm-hmm. They're taken care of.
All you need is a submarine that is controlled by a Nintendo joystick.
Shut up.
Yeah, we all know how that went. And two, I've said he should have did exactly what Queen Ramonda did. She took the people that tried to raid one of their facilities, took them captive, brought them in front of the UN and said, don't test me.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? And I mean, obviously we'll talk about this in a little bit, but I think that's what makes people villains. You see like, okay, I kind of get where they're coming from, but they went too far.
Yeah.
Killmonger, for instance. Right. It's like
there was no kind of sequel. I 100% got where he came from.
Yeah, but he went about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Is, what made him a villain in the end. But, I guess we in the end, we just have to see how it's done. I mean, I'm not 100% against it.
Yeah, I'm not 100% against it.
I still stand with Killmonger to this day.
Of course.
They did him dirty.
They did.
They did do him dirty.
They did do him dirty.
I ain't gonna lie, in the theater, when he is like, bury me in the ocean, all you heard was like every black person in the theater like, But yeah, Marvel Rivals update. Have you guys played with any of the new characters?
Oh yeah,
I messed with the Invisible Woman a little bit because I'm one of the great people that play support. Praise me, I deserve it. I'm not a DPS guy,
man.
I like to heal.
A good Invisible Woman. Oh my gosh.
I've used her one time. I didn't like her.
Dude, but if you got
I
somebody,
love Cloak and Dagger. I will sit there. I had a match where I did 21,000 healing with Cloak and Dagger, and still had a good 19 kills. So
I played 2 matches with Mr. Fantastic. Not for me. He punches too slow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His punches are too. I hate his ult. Again, it's like Bounce Man. It reminds me of Luffy. Obviously,
it's like
he came
down Bucky's ult.
Yeah, it seems like it.
but it to me, I couldn't like control it to actually like hit the people that I
Right.
needed to hit. But his punches are just way too slow, like way too slow. So I'm like, I'm not doing enough damage. But I played against, and I had a good invisible woman on my team, and oh my god, is she OP?
Her, in my opinion, Mr. Fantastic, man, you can't kill that fucker.
I died a lot, is he?
He gets big. You're like, motherfucker, I just unloaded 8 clips in you, and
Real
you
big
didn't
back,
do
right?
Yeah, but it
nothing.
takes so long to come back, and like just literally like his punches is like and I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, I'm trying to take down a freaking Star-Lord, and he's flying all around me. I'm like, there's nothing I could do.
Yeah, I was Star-Lord trying to take down a Mr. Fantastic, and I unloaded my entire ult into him, and it did not kill him.
I was wrecking the one I was facing with I was Venom.
Who they just buffed.
Did they buff him?
Yeah.
Yeah, they buffed Venom.
Yeah.
But we'll get into
They
that.
made his ult better.
I barely got to use it. We was getting destroyed. Me and Jazz were getting wrecked. She was getting upset. I'm like, because every time, as soon as I would load in, somebody would already steal Punisher. And I'm like, man, how you Punisher and you finish with 2 kills?
Yeah.
Oh, we was
And they just
doing?
buffed at him too. He just got buffed too.
we was going off on someone the other day. Who was it? What characters were they using? They're like, how are you using
Yeah, there
this?
was a 1 in 7 Punisher, and we were like, "What is this?
Like, how are
we
you
got
not getting
washed.
kills with Punisher?
So, overall, like, I do want to talk about the whole update actually, but as far as in Reed and Sue go, I like Reed a lot, but he needs a damage buff. I'd rather them nerf the how much damage he could take, because he takes a lot of damage.
He does take a lot. But I just
So
want him.
much damage.
I just want him to his punches just to be a little bit faster, so I can do just a little bit more.
He's weak.
Like-
He doesn't do a lot of damage, but he
Yes.
takes a lot of damage. The ult, like you said,
But he's not a tank.
No, but he takes damage like a tank.
Yeah.
Yes, he can out tank a
that's
tank,
my
and that's my
problem is-
issue.
That's my problem is that he's a DPS, and I couldn't do
Yeah.
much damage with him.
Right, he's an off
So-
tank. That's what I could. That's
Yeah.
like a brig, like an off tank.
Yeah.
If y'all know, that's an Overwatch term. Like May, brig, they're considered like off tanks. But
Yeah.
they're DPSing. But no, I agree with you. His ult is very underwhelming. It reminds me like a watered down Bucky ult. You know, you ever do
Yeah.
Bucky's ult?
So I haven't actually played with Bucky yet.
Yeah, that ult is ridiculous.
He's actually kind of fun. His
Yeah.
ult is ridiculous.
ridiculous, and it's very similar to that. But overall, I do like Reed. I actually absorbed Iron Man's ult with him yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you know, he gets all big.
Yeah, and then he shoots
Yeah.
it. Did you shoot it back?
Yeah, it didn't hit him, but,
Oh, okay.
but I saved the team.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
good enough.
But Sue is dope too. Her ult is really good.
Dude, you cannot die in that
You
circle.
can't. No, you can go in there and
What?
hit them, and you can see where they're at, but you can't do. You just gotta let the ult happen. Like that move she got where she pushes you away is really good. And then like the shields are good. The shield she throws on you is good. It doesn't have a lot of shield health, but it's good as hell.
Yeah.
Her healing, I think her healing's pretty solid. I think she's probably better than Reed right now, but
That's
again,
why I think if somebody is good with her, you're a tough team.
right.
Yeah.
So,
But
Yeah.
overall, as far as the balance, everything go, I think it was too early to do it. The game only been out for a month. I
Right.
think they updated way too early for the nerfs and buffs, but we'll see how it goes. I just don't want them to end up like Overwatch, because how Overwatch nerfed the hell out of the game and everyone stopped playing it. But overall, though, I'm still enjoying the game a lot. But when a new character comes out in these type of games, the meta is out of whack. Like everyone just picks wherever they want. No one's trying to heal.
Right.
No one's trying to tank.
I always heal.
But right now, though, there's a lot of healing in this game. A lot of people actually like to heal in this game. They don't.
I
wanna,
love to heal.
They don't want to tank. Is the
I
problem?
love to heal.
Yeah, healing's fun in this game.
I'm being honest, man. Being a tank sucks.
The tanks
this
are
game?
bad.
I'll play a tank.
Tanks are
we've
bad.
all played, and I'll
Right.
play Venom. But then at the end, you be looking at it, you be like, "Man, I had 8 kills." You be like,
But you
"Bro,
tanked like 22,000 damage.
Yeah.
You know. But no, I agree. They did buff Captain America. I know you hate him, but they did buff him a little bit. But Venom got like a big health buff when he does that, where he gets that extra health. They gave him more health.
You know what? I did notice that yesterday because
Yeah.
I was like, when I was using it, I was like, man, my health went super high, but
Right.
it didn't click in my head until you just, you know.
Strange is, I guess, it's really good. Apparently, I thought he was terrible, but he's actually really good. Hulk is actually really good.
I've never used them.
I want more speed to Storm.
They just buffed. She won this whole update. They buffed the hell out of Storm.
Okay, because
Yeah.
well, it's been a while since I played with her, but when I
Yeah,
played
okay.
with her, it felt like a sitting duck.
Right.
Like you're just sitting there.
Yeah,
and
you're
it's
very
you're
very slow.
Oh, no, yeah,
But Mikkel was telling me some stuff about her that a lot of people don't. That I don't know about a lot of people, but I didn't know that she's supposed to be close. Like how people always fly up real high with Storm.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that with her.
She was like more like a mid-range.
You're
type.
supposed to be down close because her effects, like her little circle of effect, it gets bigger the closer she is to the ground. So you can buff more people if you stay closer and more close to the action. But I'm like, she can fly.
Right.
Everyone's going to think, get up high where it's harder for them to hit you, especially someone like Iron Fist or Wolverine.
That's exactly why I was doing it. Like I was like, let me get away from them.
Yeah.
I don't want to, because Wolverine up close, if you're not a tank, it's horrible taking on Wolverine.
Yeah, he's well. I guess some of the higher players, like the higher up players, they figured him out. So everyone's picking Wolverine now. Like I don't know if you've been playing recently. There's a Wolverine in every match now.
Yeah, I've been.
Yeah.
I hate Wolverine.
And they also
Yeah.
just buffed them though.
They
so.
buffed him too.
Yeah.
He got like he buffed, but also like if you don't want to like, to all you people that hate Iron Fist, pick Reed. He's a perfect counter to Iron Fist.
So it's Mantis, put him to sleep.
Yeah, put him Mantis and Captain
him to
America. So Spider-Man is
sleep.
the problem right now too. Spider-Man is on the counter.
You got to find a way to slow him down. They need to release someone that can like slow
him down.
him.
Spider-Man.
A good Spider-Man is.
pain
I
in
hope
the
he's
ass.
on my team.
He's
Yeah,
like
'cause, oh
he's
my
like
goodness.
Tracer of the old one. A good one is so annoying because when you turn around to do something, they're gone. And you're like, fuck, this little bastard. And then they pop back up on the other side of you and like, stop.
Right.
There needs to be some way to counter him.
His speed.
His maneuverability.
Because even Venom, when he slings away, it's not as fast as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Nowhere even near it.
They need to have someone that can slow him down just a little bit to take away you want to run with a Spider-Man? Okay, we need to pick this character that's going to be able to take care of him. Because if it's, like I said, if it's a good Spider-Man, you're getting manhandled.
It's annoying, yeah.
You're going to get poked and prodded until you die.
I agree.
And he has a good ult too.
Yeah.
What's some of the updates?
Well, I'm looking at some of the list of characters that got buffed and nerfed and stuff. So, like, Wolverine got buffed. They gave him more health. Squirrel Girl got buffed.
Did she really need buffed?
I don't play her.
I've literally never used her. So
I played with one yesterday, and then they were the MVP. So
Yeah, they buffed her ult, so like her ult actually like homes now, so like it follows you more.
those squirrels chasing you.
yeah, it says it now rushes towards the nearest enemy after bouncing instead of random. But reduce the health of the squirrel, so it's easier to kill them off.
Right.
Animal cruelty. Increase the wind blade on Storm. That was one of her weaknesses. Her regular attack was just slow as shit. And buffed the damage to it. Buffed her bolt rush damage. And buffed her Omega Hurricane, how much bonus health she will get.
That's all Storm.
Yes, that's all Storm.
Yeah, she won this.
They gave her major buffs.
Yeah,
Cool.
she won this.
Yeah, I felt she needed it.
Moon Knight got buffed.
He didn't need buffed.
I don't think so either. I thought he was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they buffed his ult. Instead of 10 hands that come down from Khonshu, you get 14.
trying to get away from that thing is terrible already. Unless I'm Star-Lord.
Yeah, I get that's who I use.
Yeah, I'm about to say if I'm Star-Lord, I can get away from
not
it. But
yeah. I get away pretty decent with Cloak and Dagger too.
I haven't actually played with them.
Well, you don't like to heal, so
It's not true.
that is true.
They basically nerfed a lot of the problems, the characters that people were complaining about.
Yeah, they nerfed Hela's death
Yeah,
or health.
Yeah, Hela was a big problem. Hawkeye was a big problem. Mantis was a big problem. Psylocke was a big
Did
problem.
they buff Hawkeye's damage?
No, he got nerfed.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, somebody took me out with one shot yesterday as Hawkeye. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
No,
I was
they
like,
just-
I had full health.
They just nerfed Hawkeye because him and Hela were the best DPS in the game, apparently. So.
Yeah, they nerfed Hawkeye, Hela, Psylocke, and Black Panther. I didn't think Black Panther needed a nerf.
He must be big up in the higher ranks.
Higher ranks.
Yeah, probably.
But I mean, overall, I'm just curious to see how it goes. I do want them to not buff and nerf people so quick. Sometimes you got to let things play out a little bit longer. Now, if there's something glaring where you're like, okay, Hela, I think, was a worthy nerf.
I didn't even know she was that good.
Because she was
powerful.
Because she could just wreck everyone. So I get that.
Yeah, with those headshots. Yeah.
But other people, I just don't want them to be making changes too quick, because then you end up with characters that become useless too fast,
right?
Or they become too powerful too fast. Just let people figure them out. Yep. Give people time.
They figured out Hulk and Wolverine.
Yeah, and everything will balance itself out.
I agree, because now you'll have everybody try to rush and choose the same characters, and I don't want the game to feel stagnant like that. Like you see the same characters all the time. Like
right.
What I enjoyed about the game was that every time I was on a team or teamed up with people, it's like different people all the time. Like
I do like having a mix.
People every single time.
Yeah, you need to have a mix.
Yeah, I think that became my problem with like Overwatch.
Yeah, because they kept nerfing and buffed the hell out of everybody.
Yeah, it just came to a point to where it's like it's the exact same people. Yeah, and every single round.
That's what I wish people would stop doing the whole meta thing. Like, I get the whole concept behind it. Yeah, this is the most efficient way to use it, but dog, y'all aren't pro players. Just play the game.
Just play the game and enjoy it.
Just play the game. Mm-hmm. Oh, the meta is to use this character and this character and this character. Yeah, but you can't use them how they need to be used. So just have fun.
No, you're right.
Like, it's also why I don't play a lot of online games.
Yeah, because you hate people.
Yep.
And he doesn't heal.
You don't.
I will heal if I'm just specifically playing a healer.
Yeah.
But if my healer does damage, I'm going to do damage.
Right. Well, every healer has to do some kind of damage. No, but they're useless out there.
But yeah, but what I'm saying is like, so like I tried to play as Frost. Frost? Like no,
Luna Snow?
Yeah,
Luna
Snow.
Yeah.
Snow. And it was just like, I might as well just heal. I was on an AI game. It wasn't, I was like, I might as well just heal. Like, you know what I mean? But if, like, in Overwatch, Moira, I'm like, I'm better off doing more damage. I'm going to get more kills than I am going to heal people. So, and then her healing, like, both in Overwatch, like, ran out. So it was like, why am I worrying about healing you if it stops eventually anyway?
Well, it comes back from doing damage. So that's why you balance it out.
No.
No, man.
Not me.
And then, they nerfed Jeff's ult.
Dude,
it needed to be.
They nerfed it. I knew it was coming.
Was the correct. See, that one was a correct move to make.
Yeah, I took advantage of that. So
because sucking people up out of the air was insane.
Yeah, my kids don't even like. They don't play the game, but I'm sure they know Jeff because they'll hear me like, Jeffy, no. I'll be trying to chase
Jeffy,
you like, no, Jeffy.
That's all I got on the ride. Was unless you got anything else.
That's all I got on it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I'm just interested. I've been enjoying this game a lot.
I am too, and I it got Jazz off Overwatch. She just goes and plays it now. So
yeah,
I figured out Loki. I figured out how to use Loki now. So
she's a beast with
Loki.
Loki
a lot.
She's a beast with Loki. I'll be like, man.
Yeah, we got to get a big group match going. Get all of us on a team.
Yeah.
Squad up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We
Play
can
some
find
rank too.
We can find 6. We can find 6
Yeah.
people to play. I'll
Yeah.
play rank in this. I don't care.
Yeah. I don't care. So I'm not. Yeah.
No.
All right. What makes a good villain?
Good, Malik, since you know you love villains so much.
I have no issue with villains, but what makes a good one? First of all, you got to understand the reason they do what they do. If it's just I'm crazy because I'm crazy, more likely than not, you're not going to be a good villain. There has to be some sort of logic that someone who's not crazy would understand. But you also got to be captivating. That's the big thing, because the good ones that are just plain crazy, they are still captivating. One that comes to my mind is Silence of the Lambs. He was crazy.
Oh, Buffalo Bill?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
not even Buffalo Bill. I'm talking about
Hannibal?
Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
He was crazy, but he was captivating.
Right.
There was no real logic behind what he was doing, but he was captivating. But there's people that are logic. Like you brought up Killmonger.
Right.
His reasons were 100% valid. There's no debating that. He was left behind, presumably for dead, because they never said what happened to the mother, but I'm assuming she wasn't alive. So you're
Right.
basically left for dead on your own because your uncle killed your dad. You join the military, you see death and destruction and people that look like you being mistreated all over the world.
Right.
Then you then you find, you know that there's a country that exists that can help take care of all of this, but just ain't.
Right.
I get it. It's 100% valid.
I mean, even more to the point of you left him as possibly, like you said, an orphan. So now he grew up the rest of his life poor. And he's from the richest country on earth. Not only is he from that country, he is royalty. Like, yeah, he has every reason to be upset, just like you said. But I think for me, what makes a great villain is just like that. They have a goal that you can understand, or the viewer can understand. And I just think they become better when they lose their way somehow. You know what I mean? There are villains who they don't even have a clear goal and they're still great villains. Thawne. He's just a hater to be a hater. And he hates everything about Barry. Everything bad that happened in Barry's life, he's done it.
Okay.
Reverse Flash.
Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
Okay.
His name is Eobard Thawne. So
Yeah.
he has no reason or anything. He's just a hater to be a hater.
Yeah.
But like you said, he's captivating. But at some point, it'd be like, oh, come on, man. Like everything bad in Barry's life, he went back in time and
He was
did it.
already dead by the time you were born. Like, what are you so bent out of shape of?
Dude, he literally, there's a one of the comics where Barry dies in that universe. He assumes his identity just to ruin his reputation. Like he is the hater of all haters. Like, so, but to me, he's a good villain, but he's not a great villain because there's no
sense behind it.
Yeah, there's no reason for him to be the way he is.
Right.
So I think for me, it has to be like a clear goal. Like, okay, like he's a reason because he needs this or this happened and he came from this. You know what I mean? Like I love the villains to where the heroes are the reason they are the way they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are often the best villains. Is the hero failed and that's why I exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That so I mean for me, like the villains I root for is the one that has a goal that I not only sympathize with, but I understand. So, you know, I hate to keep kicking it, you know, keep saying the same thing, but like, you know, like we said, Killmonger. Like, yeah, I like Killmonger because I understood his goal. Now, granted, again, he went completely left.
Right.
But I understood where he was originally come from. Or Eren on Attack on Titan, who somehow he became a villain. And
Aaron was right.
I didn't finish it.
100% was right.
I didn't finish Attack on Titan
But-
season 4.
Okay, so but when he, in the people's eyes, became a villain, in my mind, I'm like, well, you try dealing with generations of your people being killed because the whole world hates you, and then you're like, oh, well, he killed a bunch of innocent people. They didn't care when they was dying.
Yeah, right.
So, you know, that's someone, Death Note, L, is technically the villain. He started off doing right.
Yeah.
Like, hey, the justice system won't take care of these people, I will.
Right,
But
right.
then he lost his way, and then he just started killing random people.
Mhm.
I think, to me, those are the most captivating villains. Like, I mean, you know, there's other villains that I like who kind of are just dicks to be dicks. Dio,
Great
one
villain.
of my favorite villains. Dio has no reason to be a villain.
None.
He is just a hater.
Yeah,
Like,
it's pure evil.
they took you in and they made you rich and they made you a part of the family, and you like, nah. Like, there was no reason for any of this, you know. Frieza,
He's a great villain, but he's a racist piece of shit.
Why is he?
but he has no reason to. He's just a dick.
But he's this iconic great villain. I think
Right.
he's a great villain. Like
He's just a conqueror.
he's a conqueror. He struck fear.
He doesn't come across as a great villain to me. Like,
I think he's an iconic villain.
yes,
Absolutely, yeah,
he's
that's
iconic, but I think that's more of a status of the show than him.
Okay, but
I mean, have you read Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War, right?
yeah,
Yuha,
yeah,
he's a great villain.
yes.
And I get it. You know, the Quincy's and the Soul Reapers had a problem, so now he's like, I'm taking over everything you got.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's great.
Yes, he is.
You know, I don't fully remember what was Aizen. What was he trying to do?
I don't remember.
Okay, so
I felt like they dropped. I felt like Kubo. Is that his name? TJ Kubo. That's the guy who created that wrote Bleach and made Bleach.
Yeah.
But I feel like he dropped the ball big on Aizen. Just the fight wasn't that great with him and Ichigo. We still never saw his Bunkai. Like Aizen's Bunkai.
yeah.
You know, I was like, that was one of the big things. It was like, oh, every captain has a Bunkai. We gotta see what the Bunkai is, and then like
Did you read the whole 1,000-Year?
the majority of it, but I just remember like Aizen never did it during Ichigo's fight. I know that wasn't 1,000 Blood.
I was wondering if he did it in here because I know
don't
apparently
remember,
we're
yeah.
supposed to see Kenpachi's
Kenpachi, yeah.
also. So
But like it was like, okay, they beat Aizen and then he got sent to jail for 20,000 years, whatever it was. You know what I mean? I was just kind of like, what, I was apparently for how strong he's supposed to be. It was like,
right.
no Bunkai?
So Pain, one of my favorite anime villains.
He was okay.
So, but I understood where he was coming
everything.
from,
Mhm.
and that's what made me like him. Gaara, before he went with the terrible haircut, I understood why Gaara was the way he was.
Yeah.
I agree.
Personally, I didn't understand why Naruto wasn't a villain also.
I was literally
So-
Yeah,
just
right,
thinking
right.
Yeah, so like these are like the villains that like, to me, this is what makes them great. Now, again, if you're just going to be a villain just to be a villain, like Joker, because you're crazy, then like Malik said, you got to be
captivating.
yeah, you got to captivate me. You got to do something that draws me in to be
Right, right.
you know. And a lot of the Batman villains outside of him, like they don't come off as villains to me. You'd be like, why would I root for the rich kid over you? Like Mr. Freeze. He just wants to save his wife's life.
Yeah.
Why am I rooting for the rich kid that owns half the city? who runs out at night dressed as a bat and abducts little boys and put them in colorful outfits.
Please find
Over
my
the
wife.
dude trying to save his wife.
Please find my wife, Nora.
Yeah. I mean, Poison Ivy ain't nothing but a vegan who can control plants.
Her beauty. That's all her beauty of her plants.
So, but it's like, you know, and I'm not going to say all because I know people are going to be like, oh, what about Victor Zaz? And, you know, yeah, I know there's still crazy people. I'm just, you know, using a couple examples. But
I like the villains because of how they get people. They get people so upset.
mm-hmm.
They really do. Like, I'm going to use, even though I didn't like this character, but you did, but like I hated Ramsey Bolton. But
Ramsey.
But I know how much people had. I just didn't like Ramsey's face. I don't know, but
the show went downhill after Ramsey died.
That was the
That's
best
all
episode. It was his death was the best on the show. But everyone hated him.
I think what's funny is we root for villains because it pisses people off and it's funny.
Yeah,
trolls.
Yes, but it's always hilarious when you root for a villain and someone's like, that says a lot about you as a person. Oh, shut up.
Yeah, facts.
Mr. High Ground. Like, oh.
Yeah, like, but there are just some villains that are just really good. Like, even though I hated Ramsey, but I know he was a great villain.
Yeah.
You know, they hated him. Like, even though, like, I didn't like the scene, but when he basically raped Sansa on their wedding night, that was terrible.
Yeah, that was awful. I will
know,
never defend rape in any form.
Same here.
At all. So like when I talk about villains and like why I like them, like I'll be like, Griffith did nothing wrong except the rape. The rape was wrong.
Yeah, facts.
You know, and then people are like, well, you can't say he ain't do nothing wrong. And I'd be like, I said accept that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was, I mean, he raped her until she was mentally challenged.
Right.
And yeah, that was wrong. I'm saying that was wrong. But his whole thing, sacrificing the band, the hawk and all that he wasn't wrong.
He wanted to be.
He was trying to make a better place.
But you know,
terrible
just like
job.
another good villain. Just you ever see Collateral? With Tom Cruise was a hitman.
Yes.
Like I've never seen Tom Cruise play the type of role like that before, and I'm like, he got paid to do a job. His job was to kill people, kill all the bad for the case, you know. And I'm just like, wow, this is actually really good. And I'm like, Tom Cruise playing a hitman, and like I'm like, you know, I like villains like that. Sometimes you're just there to do a job, or you know, you don't have some type of trauma in your past where it's like, oh, he hurt me, so I'm just gonna go evil. No, he just here's $600, drive me to these spots, and I got a job to do. You know, like I like villains like that. Just
well, on that note, well, not on that, on a movie note, Gerard Butler in Law Abiding a Citizen.
So no,
I agree with everything.
He was a hero.
Yeah, I agree with everything he did. Pretty much
every single thing. Not only
I
hated Jamie Foxx in that movie.
I hated Jamie Foxx in that movie,
and he was supposed to be the hero. And I'm like, nah, man, let that man do what he got to do. Yeah.
He was like, I'm taking down everything, and he thought out everything.
Yeah, I was mad when he caught him in the end, closed the jail cell on him. I'm like, oh, you a hater.
No, he had to go.
So, well,
he had to go.
Subjective.
But I get everything. You took out my wife and my daughter in front of me, and I can't get you convicted because they said, oh, well, you passed out, so that your testimony isn't admissible. Nah, dog.
That's crazy work.
No.
You would never forget something like that.
Ever.
I don't care if you pass. I don't care if you got hit in the head. You're not going to forget that.
No.
And also another thing about villains too, you can't really get super attached to them because you know they're going to die.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm a big anti-hero guy. So,
unless they're Batman villains.
Yeah, Lord. But like.
Or Superman villains.
Yeah, right.
Pretty much any comic book villain.
But like, yeah, like me liking a lot of anti-heroes, they usually die. So I'm like, you know what? So I just started going towards the villains and stuff. And one of my favorite villains is Orochimaru. You know
why?
Oh, he's great. He had the second best fight in Naruto history.
He's a mother.
He's
now.
a perv. Yeah, he's a mother. I don't know what he is now. Well,
now.
I don't know where he's in Sasuke somewhere. He'll always be a part of Sasuke.
I don't like the way you said that.
That's basically what he said. He was like,
He's
"I
a
will always
perv.
be a part of you." I'm like, "Okay, whatever."
He's a perv.
But they always get on like, "Oh, I remember like when he first fought Saratobi, and they were like, he's a bitch. He's using forbidden techniques." I'm like, "Okay, but it's okay for Rock Lee to use primary Lotus. It's okay for Naruto to use the Shadow Clone. Isn't that forbidden? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, wait a minute. You know, like you get on him because he's a forbidden technique, but as you get later in the series, everyone's using forbidden technique.
You remember how like
forget them holier than thou people.
You remember how upset they were? Like it was like, Naruto, you stole a forbidden scroll. You're not supposed to learn that.
Yeah.
That was like his main jutsu from the rest of the show. Like,
Right. That what was the one with the wind Shuriken, the Jiraiya taught him it.
Oh, the Rasengan?
Yeah, but then he had the
wind one,
yeah, you couldn't do that, you know, but still I'm like, you know, I just like villains because you know you can get attached to them, but you know they're going to die. You can't get it. It's hard.
You're not going to get too attached because you know,
like a good that was a good person or an anti person, you know, person type, you know what I mean? Because it's like every time I like an anime character, they die. Yeah. It's annoying.
So I think when I think of villains and I think of like TVs and movies and anime, in video games for that matter, I don't think of them like in real world scenarios. I think of them in like, and I think that's what makes me like them. Like I like the character for what they've done. Like if they're ruthless, if they're, you know, cunning or whatever. And it's always funny to like argue with people like, oh, everyone hates this character. And I'm like, I actually like him. Oh, well, that says a lot about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, dude. Yeah, sure. Oh,
it's a fictional character.
Yeah. You agree? You think Eren did nothing wrong? You agree with genocide? In his case, yes.
And some villains are just actually just great. Some villains are actually, sometimes the villain is just better than the antagonist is better than the protagonist.
Right.
Sometimes this is how it is. You know?
You need a good antagonist to make the protagonist
correct.
Now I'll say
meaningful.
I'll say there's times where I just flat out prefer the hero. My hero is one that I can think of. I don't know what it is, but I love All Might.
He's a very likable character. So.
I love All Might. I don't really like
All Might.
All for One.
He was
All for One. I'm not a big fan of
like
Shigaraki.
Yeah.
Shigaraki's a beast. All right, yeah, but I'm just saying, there's few times where I prefer the hero to the villain, you know. Yeah. But I just think a great villain moves the story along.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's why I like, I prefer villains. Like I said, Game of Thrones went downhill after Ramsay died. It was all downhill after that. And people, I'm not, there are villains who I couldn't stand Joffrey.
Everyone hated Joffrey.
Yeah. There's villains that
his mother was terrible.
Cersei. No.
Yeah, Cersei was terrible.
I love Cersei.
No.
I love Cersei.
No, I didn't like
that. Is Queen
I like
Cersei.
Jamie though.
That is Queen Cersei. Or how about Joaquin Phoenix and Gladiator? It wasn't Joaquin Phoenix. It was, I always say Joaquin Phoenix. It was Jeremy Piven. No, not Jeremy.
No, Joaquin Phoenix was
Joaquin Phoenix.
It was Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah. It's been so long since I seen Gladiator.
I hated him so much. I hated him in every movie until I was like 20 years old, and I was like, oh yeah, he's just an actor. That's how good he was. I absolutely hated him in that movie.
Yes.
So
yeah, some people are just so good at playing that villain role. It's and, like I know you didn't watch Sons of Anarchy, but Ron Perlman, he was a great Clay.
Hellboy?
Yeah.
No.
He was Clay in Sons of Anarchy. Everybody hated him because he was dirty, but he was good at it. And what's her name? Peggy Bundy, Katie Seagal.
Yeah, I know she was in it.
She was the mom. She was Jax's mom. She was rotten too.
Oh,
well, everybody on that show was rotten, pretty much for the most part. But still, there was a lot. It was weird seeing someone like Al, and then they're playing like a badass biker bitch. You know what I mean? Like it's.
You watched Breaking Bad. Who do you think was the villain?
Walt was one. Unfortunately, Walt had to go.
Was he really the villain, or was he trying to be the hero?
Both. I mean, everything he did was for his family. I will give him that. But he had to go after he killed Gustavo, who was probably one of the greatest villains ever. Jesse was a snitch.
Even the way he died and he came out was like, and then fell. I was like, that is the smoothest.
Jesse was a snitch.
I hated Jesse.
And then I hated Walt's wife. I know
Marie?
no, that was Hank's wife.
Oh, Hank's wife. I'm sorry.
No, Skylar. Sorry.
Oh, Sky. I hated Skylar.
I know Walt put her through hell, but she did cheat on him.
She was horrible.
Took the money, gave it to that dude that fell and broke his neck.
Dude, I stopped being in the one black anime group because I said Skylar was the worst. And for the next 48 hours, I got so many messages from people. I was like, you didn't pay attention to the show. Oh my God, that said something about you. What was the villain? Shut up. I don't care. I was rooting for him. I hated her.
I did too.
Yeah,
I hated her from episode 1. She was annoying.
Right.
But everything Walt did was for his family, though. Even at the very, very end, he did everything he could to get money for his family and everything.
Right.
And that kind of broke. I'm not even a parent, but that shit broke my heart whenever he called his son. And he's like, "You killed Uncle Hank. You killed Uncle Hank."
His son was annoying too.
Yeah, he was, but he cared about Uncle Hank more than his own dad.
Yeah.
And Hank was a douche too. I ain't like Hank either.
They're minimal, Marie.
I didn't see any of them shows, so I have nothing to
watch
offer.
Breaking Bad.
You do need to watch Breaking Bad. Q needs to watch Sons of Anarchy. But anyways,
So, I mean, I guess there's different captivating things about villains.
like you said, like a villain makes a good villain. Just you need a good villain.
You need a good villain to make the story compelling.
Right.
If the villain is bad, the story's not going to be compelling.
Yes.
Right.
That's good. Like Thor: Love and Thunder is a prime example. Like I just watched that too, and I don't know what the hell they did with Christian Bale in that movie.
Oh, it's Gore.
Gore the
Chris-
God
yeah,
Butcher.
they could have did way better with that. That movie, I felt like that movie wasn't even needed.
Felt he was acting his ass off though.
I mean, there was so much you can do. I didn't think that movie
Yeah.
was that great. I didn't like Russell Crowe as Zeus. I was just kind of like, I just didn't care for the movie very well.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the best, but it was all right.
Right, and then I did watch Ant-Man 3 2 days ago.
I still haven't seen that, so don't spoil anything.
Oh,
yet.
I like Jonathan Majors though.
He's Kang, yeah.
I did a lot.
Yeah, I heard they may still bring him back, so I guess we'll see.
I hope so. I like it, but I won't get too much because he didn't see it. So, but I got to watch Guardians 3 next. So.
I gotta watch that as well too.
Yeah.
But that's all.
Oh, I
got
went to
on
the
this
theater to see that. That's a great one.
one. Guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's next. So, but that's all I got for the villain stuff. So, if you got anything else, so
No. We have time to do what games we want to see remake.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah, I got a list of games that I will buy day one
Fight Night Champion.
if they were remade. We can. They already said they're trying to bring back a Fight Night. So anyway, remastered games. If they was I saw this on TikTok. If they were to remaster one game, what would you buy? What would you choose that you would buy at day one? Well, I got a list because I don't need one. This one, I think everyone, all three of y'all or two of y'all, are going to agree with me on this one. Power Stone.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's the day
Power
one
Stone.
vibe.
That's day one buy. Power Stone has to come back. Tim might agree with me on a couple of these. Twisted Metal.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I never liked the Twisted Metals.
I thought they were fun.
Yeah, they were better, obviously, 20 plus years ago.
Yeah, but they were better at the time than currently.
Yeah.
I remember in 5th grade, like we had like a little area set up in the gym, and it was like TVs, and they had all like the video games on them. So like if you got there before school or you were there after school, you could play the video games, and they would always be playing Twisted Metal, and I'd be like, I never liked it.
I liked Twisted Metal. I thought it was fun. Road Rash.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know if I would day one buy, but I definitely would. If there was
It would have to be like $20.
If it was like a if it was like a demo, or I could play first, or like you said, it's a $20 game. Yeah, then I would.
If they do Road Rash right, it could be so much fun.
Absolutely, I agree.
So much fun.
Play.
I wouldn't want to pay $70 for it.
No,
Yeah,
it has to be like a $20 game or something like that.
Depends on how it's made. I'd pay full price for a Road Rash if it's done right. Earthworm Jim.
Yes, I love the Earthworm Gems.
Earthworm Jim with some of the physics stuff that is like in video games now, the movement you would be able to pull off with Earthworm Jim could be so
That'd be
fun.
kind of neat, actually. Yeah. I mean, I'm open to it though.
Comic Zone.
I knew that was coming.
Comic Zone was
Especially
a great
after
game.
the first episode.
Comic Zone was a great game, and if you remaster that and make it, and still the
Would you still want it 2D? Well, it would have to be 2D.
it still has to be
Comic.
2D.
Yeah.
But if the current cell shading type art they do in video games currently with that, it would look great.
Mm-hmm.
And give it more like a Beautiful Joe type feel to it, where maybe like when moves connect, you get the pow and the bam from like comic books. That game could work incredibly.
Mm-hmm.
And my last one, this is just something because I just enjoyed it so much. Need for Speed Underground 2. I liked the
Or
drag
Most
racing.
Wanted. Or
I like Most Wanted.
Like, I
Race
just-
for the Pink Slips.
See,
I've played the recent Need for Speeds, and they just don't do it for
they're
me.
boring.
Yeah.
But part of it is the races are sometimes too long. Sometimes I don't want to race for 3 to 5 minutes. Sometimes I want me a nice 12-second drag race.
I don't want a realistic racing game. That's what I hate. That's why I don't like Forza. That's why I don't like Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
I don't want to be realistic. I want to smash my car
I want
10 times into the person to knock them off the road and keep going.
see. I think there's room for both. I want semi-realistic.
Well, there's room for both. I'm saying I don't want it.
I don't want full realistic like Forza, because I'm sorry, Forza's boring as fuck.
Shit.
I want semi-realistic. Need for Speed, semi-realistic. I want like in Need for Speed Underground 2, you were drag racing.
Mm-hmm.
If you shifted too late or too early,
Mm-hmm.
you messed up your time. If you didn't shift, you blow your engine. I like that type of stuff. Hey, I like if I'm racing and I smash into someone, my car performs less. The performance drops off. I like that. But sometimes I do want to just play like my rock and roll racing, where I'm driving around with a car that I could shoot you and blow you up in order to win the race. Depends on the game.
Yeah.
If I'm playing Need for Speed, I want it semi-realistic. If I'm playing something like rock and roll racing, which I think would also be a great game to bring back, just fun racing, blowing shit up, and with a great soundtrack.
If y'all don't know what that is, it's on Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. If you're on YouTube, check it out.
Yeah, rock and roll racing.
Yeah, it was a
so
great
much fun.
game,
So much
for
fun.
sure.
What a great soundtrack, especially
Yeah.
for being the Genesis and Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
era. All classic rock songs. That's my list.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on that?
I agree with most of that list.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Especially Power Stone.
Yeah.
I knew y'all would agree on Power Stone.
Absolutely.
I'm waiting on that. What about you, Tim?
I'm gonna go to Rockstar. I would like a new bully.
Bully. I knew
100%.
Yeah, a new
everyone wants a new
Yes.
bully.
Yeah.
I knew
Yes.
that. I knew that.
That
Warriors.
Warriors was a solid game. I had no problem with Warriors though, but I wouldn't mind a Manhunt.
And play it.
You didn't play it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a
I
new
think I played a
Manhunt
little bit.
with today's graphics. But the other the Rockstar game I would like, it's not LA Noire, but I want some type of sequel to LA Noire.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be like back in the 40s where
The concept of LA Noire was incredible.
yes.
So I would 100% like a game like that, where you literally you have to think or you're going to fail because you didn't do your police work correctly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I would love a game like that again.
But apparently the game didn't do very well, like sales wise, but I loved that game. I thought that was a really good game.
I thought it was solid.
Very solid. I would like for them to do something like that with forensic science though.
Yeah.
Like you can be in the lab, like testing the blood, like, oh, there's the DNA right here. I want them to make a game like that. I would
Yeah,
love
that
for
type of
Rockstar to do something like that.
It doesn't even need to be Rockstar. I just need someone to make it.
Quantic Dream, anyone. I don't. And then the other ones I would like a new Darkstalkers. I know that's never coming back though. But or Rival Schools, either one from Capcom. And the last one is we keep doing all these Final Fantasy remakes. Like, we got the 7 remake and the Rebirth, and why not remake the ones before 7? Like, I never played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
I even have 5 and 6. I just never played them. But like, I want them. Why can't you remake those with the newer graphics today? Like how you're doing 7.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to be honest, because like nobody wants to play turn-based. I like turn-based, but no one likes to play turn-based anymore as much. So
Right.
Yeah, I don't like turn. That's the reason why I don't play Final Fantasy. I don't like turn-based RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I started with 15 because 15 wasn't turn-based.
But I would be okay with them like going back and redoing those instead of 7. In my opinion, I know 7 was the most popular one, but still, like I would like to see Kefka updated today. You
Right.
know, and Terra and Bart's from 5 and whatever. You know, so yeah, those are mines I would like to see like, you know, remastered or remade or whatever like that.
Okay.
Oh, one more. Redo Kingdom Hearts 3 because that was fucking terrible. But all right, I'm good now because I'm still mad about that game. I ain't even finished it. I was so upset. But all right, anyway, I'm done. Go ahead. I'm good.
Never played Kingdom Hearts. So
I'm not a huge I tried Kingdom Hearts 3 and I lost interest very quickly.
Yeah, you should have. It's terrible. But anyways, go ahead, Q.
So first for me, SSX Tricky.
Good game.
They were okay. I didn't have a problem with them.
They made one maybe like 10 years ago or whatever, and there was like no couch co-op. So it was stupid. I was like, I don't
Bring back couch
want this.
co-op. That
Yes.
needs to be a thing.
Yes. Because I was like, oh, Jazz. I was like, we got to play this game. I was like, it was so fun, like snowboarding. So that would definitely be one of mine. I want, with updated rosters and everything, a new Def Jam.
Yes.
I want to give people hands with Ray J. I want to beat up Blueface with Ray J. And I want like his special to be like one wish and just knock somebody out. Like that's what I want to do. Like that game would do numbers. Like
yeah.
It would, but I don't know how you could pull it off like they did. I still don't know how they pulled it off back then.
have Tory Lanez in there and he like his finishers to
Foul
shoot
Shoot someone in the foot. Yeah.
Yep, like, you know, you could have Drake and he calls the police on you for his finisher.
Oh my God.
Soft. I would love to play that.
I would love a new Def Jam, but I don't know how they would pull it off. And after their last attempt, I don't have much faith in them doing it correctly.
Yeah, because Icon was garbage.
Yeah. I'm going to go off the rails on this one. I want a new and updated Blitz the League. I don't know if y'all remember that game, but it was
heard
like
of
the
it.
Blitz game, and
remember
you were like it was complete chaos. Like you could hit people after the play, and they was like breaking bones and stumping on people.
And
you could
shoot 'em
decide
with
it.
steroids
Yeah, you could decide to do
to-
steroids, or you could send prostitutes to their room at night.
Oh, wow. I didn't even do all that.
It was
crazy.
it was wild.
it was
and
wild.
I want
It was wild.
that and NBA Icon.
NBA
I
Icon.
don't remember Icon.
Or NBA, not NBA.
Jam?
No. It was the one where you got to like buy your house and all of that. It wasn't Icon.
Ballers?
Yes. Sorry. Ballers.
Ballers, okay.
I'm sorry. We said Def Jam Icon and it threw me off.
Okay.
Ballers. Yeah. Remember, like you could like buy your house and like your car.
I
and
didn't
all
play
that, like,
Ballers.
stupid
That's the
stuff.
one with Stephon Marbury on the cover or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, but
I
I
never
never
played that
it.
one.
It was dope just because it allowed you to like, do other stuff outside of like just being
Playing
a player.
basketball,
Like, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Now, I'm going to give a little credit to a little unknown developer. I can't remember what the name of the developer is, but they're making a game. I follow them on Twitter. It's called Varsity Football, where you're literally, the whole game is high school football, where you got to take care of fundraising, getting players, getting a staff.
oh, that sounds fun.
I am so interested in seeing as it develops. I want to play that game. For those that don't know, myself, Quentin, want to start our own game development studio. Quentin's an animator. I'm a programmer. I've actually reached out to numerous indie projects to see if I can help on them. The Undisputed boxing game that just came out recently back in October, when it was in early access, I reached out to them like, hey, can I help? I don't even need to be paid. I have a job. Got nothing. There's a guy, I believe he's on his own. I believe he's in Florida, making a bare knuckles boxing game. He released it on early access on Steam. I actually haven't played it yet though, but it looks really fun. I talked to him, reached out. Well, I didn't talk to him. I reached out to him. Didn't get an answer. Reached out to the guys making the Varsity Football game. Haven't received the answer. Answer me, goddammit. I want some experience.
I
It's
haven't,
coming.
I haven't reached out to
It's
anyone
coming.
yet about doing art for them, but you know, it's coming. A little niche game here. I'm gonna throw out here. Bouncer.
Never heard of it.
Oh, it was a PS2 launch game.
Yes.
It was made by Square Enix.
Great game.
I never played it.
Great game. I would love.
Never
to
played
have
it, but I know exactly what it is.
updated. Yep. I would love to have. There was another one I used to like, but I don't know if I need it. It was State of Emergency.
Terrible
You
game.
ever play that?
Yep,
That's why I was
terrible
like,
game.
I don't know if I need that. That
That was a
remake.
Rockstar failure.
Yeah, that wasn't good. That game wasn't good.
See, the thing is, like, a lot of the games I kind of got into, I don't think like a lot of games like need updated, like, you know, like Super Mario World.
Yeah,
It's perfectly fine how it is.
it's fine as it is.
You know, the Sonic games, they're perfectly fine.
Yeah,
how
they're
they
fine
are.
as they
You know, you can go back and play them. Maybe Altered Beast.
I would like a new Ultra Beast.
they're releasing one.
Really?
They
one
are.
of the-
That is
that's
right.
one of the. If you, for those that don't know, Sega said they're coming back.
They are.
They're releasing a new Crazy Taxi, a new Jet Set Radio, a new Altered Beast, a couple other of their projects too. I can't remember them all. Here, I'll see
they
if I
showed
can find them real quick.
They showed the trailer like last year or something like
Yeah.
that. If I recall. Shenmue 4 maybe?
We spoke about this the other day.
Hey, you never say never.
Shenmue, 3 games that you've done 3 games and you still don't know nothing. So that means that it's time to just stop.
No.
Currently known schedule. Obviously the Virtua Fighter and all that stuff. I'm not talking about that.
Oh, they just showed a new trailer for Virtua Fighter apparently.
It wasn't really a trailer. It was kind of like a in-engine video.
They was
Wasn't
going
even
crazy.
gameplay.
They was going crazy. Over
It looks good. Don't get me wrong.
I accidentally typed Sony's coming back. And I'm like, wait, not Sony. So they're planning on releasing a whole system. Oh no, I got like Elder Scrolls and
Yeah, I'm trying to.
That's different. So
I'm trying to find the article.
I think you know, I would like to play just like a lot of the dumb mindless games I played as a kid, just with updated graphics, like Monster League Hockey or Monster League Football.
Mutant League.
Mutant League, yeah, Mutant League.
What about Vector Man?
No.
Whoa.
Shinobi and
Wasn't
Streets
he like
of
just circles?
Shinobi
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
Streets
like,
of
that's what I'm
Rage.
saying. You don't need updated circles.
Aw.
No, Q. Shinobi and Streets of Rage are the other ones they
And
announced.
Golden Axe.
And Golden Axe.
Golden Axe.
Okay, well,
So it's not Altered Beast. It was Golden Axe that they announced. They did
But-
they did not announce Altered Beast. So I am wrong.
But I
You
would
know
like
what?
a new Ultra Beast.
I don't need an online version of it, but just the campaign mode, updated like physics, graphics, gameplay, GoldenEye.
they tried that.
They did. I just want to like
They tried
redo
it
the
on the
campaign
Xbox.
mode. Like,
They tried it on the Xbox.
Oh, okay.
It didn't do too well.
yeah, but I mean, I'm sure they tried to do too much. Like,
Probably.
Yeah, right.
you know, I just wanted to play well and be able to go through that those missions again. So, but that's pretty much it for me.
Yep.
You know, so you know, like Malik already said, Need for Speed. That would have definitely been one of mine. So
Good Need for Speed game is on point.
yeah, trash takes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tom,
I can go
you
first.
seem like you
Yeah.
you were into it.
Now, I can't tell anybody what to do with their own vehicles because you paid for your vehicle. You can put what you want on your car. But I'm going to say it anyway. Stop with the stickers. Stop with all the stuff on the back of your truck. You can't look out the back of your truck. You got all this stuff on the back of your truck, no whether it's a political sticker or just anything. It looks stupid. All right? I've had it, and I'm sick and tired of the eyelashes on the headlights.
That is by far the dumbest things in the
You know, my
the hell out
wife
of
tried
me.
to do that. I said no. And the reindeer ears, the
antlers on the-
nose. Stop it. I can't take it anymore. I don't want to see Rambo stuff on the back of your truck,
Remember the lift mustache?
dude. Oh my goodness. I've had it, Q. I can't take it anymore. I'm so sick of seeing it. I can't. How can you look in the back of your car when you got all these stickers on the back of it? Like you have one or two, that's fine. When you got the whole back of your truck just covered, like how do you see in the back?
So I only put the fireman sticker on mine. I'm not putting a bunch of stickers on my car. But I'm gonna say something that may piss a lot of people off, and I'm sorry. When I see a bunch of stickers on the back of your car, I just assume you're racist. I don't know why. I don't know why. But it just comes off as racist. I'm sorry.
Even if it's a whole bunch of peace and coexist
Don't
stickers.
care. It
Don't
just comes
care.
off
Still-
as I just assume you're racist. Like, I don't even have a logical reason why. It's just something in my mind that be like, yeah, that person's racist. But it's usually not like peace stickers. It's usually like 700 like political stickers, like you know what I mean? And it'd be like just instantly I'd be like,
Yeah.
like so I mean I don't understand it. I only have the fireman sticker on my car. That's it.
Yeah, I got like two stickers on mine, you know what I mean? But like I said, but I don't have it covering on my whole back window and you know.
I love when people have like the anime characters like all over their cars and then be like, bruh, you're why people look at us weird. It'd be like some like weird sexualized anime character in the back window, like, and you'd be like, "Come on, bro."
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, with the eyelashes though on the head.
The eyelashes annoy me to no end. The eyelashes annoy me so much.
Awful. But that's my trash take. I had to get that one off.
all right. You want to go? Or you want me to go?
I'll go. People, stop with the comparisons. I'm gonna limit this to wrestling. Stop. Oh, look at this crowd. AEW's not doing so well. Looks like WWE's doing better. Just enjoy the wrestling.
Yeah, that's annoying. I agree
You
with you.
can like both. It is okay.
It is 100% okay to like both.
Yeah.
It's
I agree.
it's 100% okay to like one. Just because you only like one doesn't mean you have to trash the other one.
Agreed.
Just know, hey, it's not for you. Yes, I primarily watch AEW currently. That doesn't mean WWE is bad. It's just I fell out with what Vince was doing toward the latter end of his career, and I just haven't gotten the time to get back into it. I tried watching a little bit of Raw this week when they moved to Netflix. I fell asleep because I go to sleep early, not because it was boring. But what both shows are doing is great. Mm-hmm. And stop. What really upsets me is when the WWE diehards are comparing WWE, which has been around technically since what, the 40s?
Like when Vince's dad was running
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Technically
It might have been the
40s,
60s, I
50s,
think. Yeah.
maybe 60s.
Yeah.
To a company that debuted in what, 2019?
Yeah, it'll be 6 years this year.
Like, do you realize the gap in between those two?
Right.
They're like, oh, look what WWE, like, AEW's still trying to figure things out.
Right.
Let them be. Are they hitting on everything? No. Are they hitting on a lot of things? Yes.
It's just weird
Just
to
let
me
them go.
It's just weird to me that people feel like they have to choose sides. Like, you can watch both shows.
It's really weird.
Like,
We did it in the 90s.
yeah.
I watched both.
Yeah.
I literally had my remote where I click back, commercial on this one, click back, click to the other channel, click the TNT to watch Nitro.
But now
this match is on Nitro now. I don't like this match. Oh, I'm gonna click over to Raw.
But now you have streaming and recording,
Correct.
and you can watch it all.
And it's not even head to head anymore.
Literally on my YouTube, it's just I've kind of fell off wrestling, but on my YouTube, I have Raw up until now, every SmackDown and every AEW recorded.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't understand this. Oh, I have to like one company or the other. Like, no, you
Like
don't.
them all.
You can
Right.
watch
Watch them
AEW, Ring of Honor, TNA,
New
WWE,
Japan Pro.
yeah, like
New Japan, AAA, CMLL, watch it all.
as a wrestling fan, you can enjoy it all.
Yeah.
Correct.
Some shows do certain things a certain way, and that might not be your flavor. That's fine. Don't watch it.
Right.
But why do you got to bag on it? Like that's just really weird.
To get a rise out of people.
It's part of it is some people want clicks, some people are just trying to get attention,
And
but part of it is that just that either or mentality, because we see it in everything. You see it in politics, you see it in video games.
Mm-hmm.
How many people, Tim, you're like, screw Xbox.
Yep, I'm about to say,
Screw Xbox.
forget Bethesda.
Well, yeah, of course, but
Like,
I know.
Bethesda's different because he just doesn't like their type of games.
But
like Xbox, there's nothing wrong with an Xbox or the PCs versus the consoles. Like, oh, my PC can run better than your console. Well,
They're annoying.
you
They're
paid
annoying,
$5,000 for it. I paid $500. It should.
right.
well, even the whole sense that they need to look at it like this for wrestling fans. You need to look at it like this. This is probably the best time in the history of wrestling to watch wrestling.
Absolutely.
For the simple fact that you have 3 hours on Monday to watch Raw. You have, how long is Dynamite? 2 hours?
2 hours on
on
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
2 hours on Wednesday. You have NXT. That's what? 2 hours now?
2 hours on Tuesday.
You have 3 hours now on SmackDown. You have...
Wait, SmackDown 3 hours? Now?
Yeah, they just
they
moved
just
to 3 hours.
3
Oh,
hours.
damn.
You have...
Collision on Saturdays for AEW.
You have almost 20 hours a week of wrestling, counting New Japan and all that you can just sit down and watch.
Right.
This is the best time, and this is funny because I don't watch much wrestling anymore today, ever since COVID. But this is the best time to be a wrestling fan, and y'all are busy arguing and fighting over which company you want to support. You can support them all.
And what makes it
Facts.
crazy is the talent pool is ridiculous right now.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
There are so many talented wrestlers right now. You got the older ones that's still sticking around like Randy Orton. You got young guys that are coming up like MJF. You got
Darby
guys,
Allin.
You got guys like Swerve Strickland and Hangman Page putting on what I consider the feud of the year.
Yeah, I love them older people. They be like, oh, the wrestling back in the 80s was better. I'm like, those guys, a lot of those guys couldn't wrestle.
No, they
Yeah,
couldn't.
they couldn't wrestle. Some of them was able to, like, like Macho Man and Ricky the Dragon and stuff, but Ultimate Warrior was terrible. Hogan was terrible.
But he shook the ropes.
But he shook the ropes. He run and he's out of gas. Like another wrestler who actually was a really good worker, but he had a terrible gimmick was Alex Wright.
Alex Wright was a great wrestler.
He was a great wrestler.
Alex
He
Wright was
just
a great wrestler.
That gimmick was horrible.
Dancing.
It was a terrible gimmick, but I'm like, he can work, man. But anyway, I mean off track. But still, just like the motor, wrestling back in the 80s and 90s was just way. But I'm like,
You know who doesn't get enough respect? And I'm gonna do this for Jazz because it's her favorite wrestler, Dolph Ziggler.
He's incredible.
I
He's
like
an incredible
Dolph.
worker. He was given a terrible gimmick, but he still made it
But
work.
he's so great.
and he got
So
to make
good.
out with AJ for like months.
They,
That was
and he-
great.
he
I don't
should
know-
have cashed in at WrestleMania.
I don't know
They-
if he still is, but I think he's TNA's world champion right now.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched it.
And the way he would sell shit.
Oh, his selling was top
man.
tier.
Yeah.
He's one of the best sellers. Him and Ricochet are two of my favorite sellers.
Yes.
What about Billy Gunn?
No.
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 Okay. He always sold when he always hit his head
He
off the
did used to
turnbuckle.
sell.
He did that really
Yeah.
well.
You do. But
All right, my trash take.
Yes, sir.
I might piss y'all off with this one, and I'm sorry.
Here you go.
I'm gonna just go ahead and say it because no one else ever says it. Jiraiya was a piece of shit. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Now you're going to explain this one.
Jiraiya was a piece of shit. He is Naruto's godparent. That means if my parents are incapable, as the godparent, you should step up and make sure that kid has everything. He said, fuck them kids, and he went and wrote porn around the world. He was a piece of shit. I know everyone says Lord Third is bad. He was.
Oh, he was bad.
He was. But Jiraiya could have prevented any of that, and he didn't. Imagine if he raised Naruto. He wouldn't have been bullied because they'd have been like, hey, he's with the legendary Sani. No, he's a piece of shit. He left Naruto in that dirty ass apartment just like Lord Third did. He's a piece of shit. And everyone always hates, oh man, Minetta's the worst character. He ain't no different from Minetta. He just can fight. And Minetta took down freaking Lady Midnight. So he proved himself useful too, but everybody always hate the perverted characters, but they love Jiraiya for some reason. He deserved what he got, and that was pain jumping that nigga by himself.
No, Jiraiya was a likable character.
You went a little far on it. Like, I agree with a lot of what you said, but saying he deserved to get jumped, that's taking things a little too far, my guy.
He was a piece of shit. He's the reason Naruto. He's part of the reason Naruto's life was so bad.
Well,
Partially, all of them.
Yeah,
all of them
Elder
were.
Village, his father.
Because honestly, Jiraiya was told by Lord Third that he would be taken care of. So Jiraiya's like, all right, he's taken care of.
No.
Now, does that mean you should check in? So
exactly my point.
So that's what I'm saying. I kind of agree with you there. But when you're told,
I said Lord Third's a piece of shit. I'm just saying Jiraiya also is a piece of shit.
I would say Jiraiya, I wouldn't call him a piece of shit, but I would say he is partially culpable for what happened.
He's a piece of shit.
Naruto.
He could have. Think about, like, Naruto might have actually had friends if they're like, oh, that's one of the legendary Sanin's god kid, or he's with him, and you know what I mean. His life could have been so different, but instead he's like, he pulled a Michael Jordan and was like, fuck them kids, and dipped out and was like, yeah, I'm gonna go around the world writing who's that author? Zane books or whatever they are. Like, I'm gonna go write all these porn novels instead of I can at least take him with me. Nah, I'm just gonna be like, nah, you good, you got it. Nah, piece of shit.
That was a little harsh, Q. But I get it. But I like Jiraiya though. I still do. I like the Orochimaru better, but I like Jiraiya though. His death was very, very sad.
Yeah. So,
all right, is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it.
That's it. We know what we doing next time, or
yes.
Is next week the one before the Royal Rumble, or is there one more before the Royal Rumble?
Rumble discussion. No, next one's 25th.
Yeah, so that's right before the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Yeah, we got anticipated video games for 2025, favorite anime fights, Royal Rumble discussion.
Okay. All right. We'll be back with more.
All right.
Peace.
Thanks for listening. Have a good one.